And we are live. Welcome everyone to Coaster Time. I am your host, Carrot Gilgan, and today we are joined by a returning guest who's a legend in the Six Flags Over Texas community who will be collaborating with me today to do the first ever 10-year plan for any park, which is going to be centered around Six Flags Over Texas. This is, of course, none other than JB Thrills. JB, it's great to have you back on here. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good, excited for Tormenta. It's a big year for Texas parks, and I can't wait to start strategizing and coming up with some crazy ideas for the next 10 years, if it happens, maybe not, but we'll see.
Hey, that's the fun of it. This is going to be a kind of what we would do if we were in like the decision making chair for this 10-year plan. You, as the chat as well, can get involved with kind of coming up with the ideas for this 10-year plan. So that's going to be how we're going to get that going when we get there. However, in recent days, for those of you who have been following Six Flags Over Texas, the Texas region, there has been obviously a lot of stuff that has happened, and with the just kind of nature of the topic of the stream, we both felt that it was appropriate to discuss some of these items. And the first of which, I'll just introduce this real quick, but I'll hand this over to you, JB, just so because you are most connected, or one of the most connected people to this, and obviously this being your home park. But Jeffrey Siebert is no longer with Six Flags. I'll let you have the floor from here.
Appreciate that. Yeah, as we've heard the news, it's gone viral, especially for us locals, because Jeffrey Siebert was is the most influential leaders we've had in the Texas region. He's worked at the park for over 15 years, and he is highly responsible for the success that Fiesta has had and has spilled it over to parks like my home park, Six Flags Over Texas, Slitterbahn, and all the other Texas region parks. For all my fans watching, y'all know he's like really part of my channel, incorporated well. He loves to be part of interviews and everything like that. So to hear this news is definitely concerning. At first, it started off as a rumor. It was not exactly confirmed by any means, but I can tell y'all that it's absolutely confirmed that Jeffrey Siebert is no longer with the Six Flags chain. Um, as for details as to why, to be clear, it was not a firing of any sort. So put down your pitchforks, chill. Like it was nothing like that. It was a personal decision by Jeffrey Siebert, and and we gotta respect his decision. And whatever decision he was doing, it's for the best of himself as well as his family that he has. And we gotta trust him because he's a smart guy. He is a businessman. He knows what's going on. And one thing that I've recently got to do, I had a huge opportunity to sit down with Jeffrey Siebert and do an interview with him for one of my projects for my marketing course. And I was able to interview him on what it's like as a regional general manager. And one of the key things he has said was, he is the leader, he is the regional general manager, but he's not the one changing the parks. He has said that he's the one laying the foundation for the next generation to pick up where he left off so he can do even better. Because as you know, especially my home park, we started off not the best. We didn't have all the resources we needed. We barely got additions, and if we did, it was a clone. So Jeffrey Siebert came in, led his team, because it wasn't just Jeffrey Siebert, it was the amazing team like our PR, our marketing team, the creative department, entertainment department. They all came in and helped work on our park to make it better. And now they left it where it is, and new teams are coming, or current teams that are still there are just going to build upon what Jeffrey Siebert has done and inspired. So in that case, I trust the process. Everything's going to be fine. Take a breather. But I do want to take this moment and say thank you to Jeffrey Siebert because he is influential. It's going to feel weird being at rodeo and he's may or may not be there. I don't know for sure yet. Or FT92 fan events. Like, he's the guy that announces the rides. But I can't confirm that he may or may not come to Tormenta. Just saying. But he is still very enthusiastic about the chain. He loves theme parks, as you know. And if he's retiring, then he's gonna be enjoying the parks, because he told me he's like, hey, I'm gonna enjoy the parks. He enjoys his parks. He enjoys roller coasters. In the same way, it's unfortunate, but let's keep moving forward. Let's bring value to that chain and let's keep, you know, restoring parks like Over Texas and Fiesta Texas because it's the fans like us that are passionate that lets these kind of things happen and big investments happen. So yeah, yeah.
Very, very well said. I mean, I don't think I could have said that any better, and especially for just even though I have not personally met Siebert or been to one of his parks when it was under his leadership, just from what I've heard from those who've worked under him, those who have been to the parks that he has led over the years, he's been very well respected, and I've heard a lot of praise for him over the years, just for the passion he brings, the leadership he brings. Um, and I mean that speaks volumes when you hear it from so many different people in a lot of different sectors. And then just from afar, like I always appreciated like his vision, his passion. I mean, the Fiesta Texas announcements, the energy he brought there, those were so sick. Those were some of my favorite announcements I've seen. So, and you could just absolutely feel again his vision with the parks within those announcements, and I know from those who've been just the improvements that were made to them over the years. So, got to give a lot of props there. And I know it is a difficult time, as JB mentioned, for those of you who are in the Texas region. Obviously, has meant a lot and has done a lot, but as JB said, it takes an entire team to run these parks, get all these projects and exciting additions to happen. So I think that there should be some optimism heading forward, ideally, and then obviously for Siebert, best of wishes for whatever is next, and that is pretty much all I have to say on the subject. But absolutely best of wishes to him as we move forward. So that's going to wrap up the departure. I do also want to go into something else that's been going on this week. As JB said, Siebert, he left on his own accord. He was not laid off.
Yeah.
However, there have been a lot of layoffs within the Six Flags chain this week, and I can also say from several other companies within theme parks, within entertainment. I've unfortunately seen it a lot this week on X, LinkedIn, and all that. And so I just kind of wanted to bring it to light as we're going to be doing a Six Flags Over Texas 10-year plan. This is like kind of the fun part of like, being in this community, like thinking of what they could get next. But there is a
Yeah.
reality in this industry where stuff like this happens, and it's a very difficult time for those who are experiencing this. I can say from my own experience that being laid off this time around this time last year, within the place that I worked at, that obviously it's never good to be in this type of situation, but there's a lot of talent that's out there right now. So anyone who's looking for it, there's a lot of very qualified, very talented people that's out there, and I hope for the best for anyone watching or anyone who is watching who knows of anyone who's going through this. I think the best is yet to come for those involved. Do you have any thoughts here?
Very much so, as you were saying, it has affected a lot of businesses, not just Six Flags. So it's just a statewide or countrywide thing that's going
Countrywide, yeah,
on. Yeah, and to all those amazing talented people, I pray and hope that they get some amazing opportunities and stuff like that happens. But we're always progressing, and they may get even better positions, and that's what I'm hoping for. So
absolutely.
that's just the current times we're in. That's how it is.
For sure. So, and then the next thing we'll go into, we'll actually start with first Q&A and buy or sell. We'll be taking any questions that come in until 8:25 Eastern time, or at least answering up until then, depending on the amount of questions. We may save the ones that come in if we don't reach them by then for the end of the stream, but we'll do first Q&A and buy or sell. The only other thing I wanted to mention here is the timing of this stream. Obviously, is incredibly just was unexpected for both of us. I would say this is something that this stream has been in the discussions, the planning for months. We dialed out on this date like several weeks ago. So I just, I guess, wanted to say that the timing of it is completely coincidental to a lot of the events that are taking place right now.
Yeah, who knew?
Um,
Yeah.
so I figured I don't think anyone would think that like what was it, that like I was trying to like capitalize on all this weirdness. But I
No, I
just wanted
promise
to.
y'all, I can verify. We talked about this like months too. It was like months, like, yo, when are we gonna do the stream? And like, yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it on this day, like 2 weeks in advance. And all of a sudden, all this happens now. And I'm like, okay, well, it is what it is.
Yeah. No, for reference, it was gonna be. I think we were shooting for March, but
Yeah, March.
but I forget if it was February or March originally. But I had a trip to Japan that compiled together in like less than 2 weeks, so that pushed this out.
Right.
So,
And then I had a media day and all those things. And I was in Georgia, like, yeah,
and
yeah.
here we are now.
Here we
So
are now. Yeah.
crazy times to
Crazy
be
times to
living
live
in.
in.
We got Coaster Evan here in the chat. Went to Fiesta, Texas for the first time last summer and it was immediately obvious that the park was led by someone who really cared about it. I mean,
Yeah.
j- just from everything I heard, that was the case for a lot of people who visited, and
Yeah.
uh, you can speak on that quite a bit. So,
I mean, it was immediately obvious when Jeffrey was in charge for Over Texas too. It was like a quick light switch. Like he came with his team, and immediately there was updates all over the park, from restaurants being updated and renovated to new stage venues to soundtracks around the park, onboard soundtracks for older attractions, repaints all over. Like he was passionate about the parks. The team is passionate about the parks, so it's cool to see what he did for Fiesta and Over Texas and even Slurbon, because we haven't even yet to see the updates that they've done there. But I got to see a little sneak peek of it, and yeah, they did a great job. They're doing a great job.
actually, and I guess one more thing, if I can like kind of speak on it, I think one of the things he did really well. I should have shouted out. I mean, the engagement he's had with the community, with the parks, I think has been like elite of the elite.
Yeah,
Between whether it's the teasing campaigns or just kind of being part of the community, I think he did that extremely well. And then one of the other things too is there's a lot of those updates and things that maybe at other parks they don't like kind of make it as clear that they're doing them, but he got people excited for updates that maybe would go potentially like unnoticed or wouldn't necessarily get as much attention. He was really good with building up excitement for those, and I mean it makes sense. Those the updates like repaints, making things look good, those go a long way in the park experience. So it's I think it's great that he was able to uh, build excitement for those types of additions. So
he was one of us. One of us. One of.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Buy or sell next 10 years, any chain in the US will be bigger than Six Flags in number of parks. Well, um, I'd have to actually look at the list as far as, but if I based on the president's thing, which there's been a lot of speculation there, I could see it, so I will buy it for that reason. I'll just kind of leave it at that.
Yeah. I would say I have no idea, but I mean, Six Flags still has a lot of parks in their chain. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, nothing has happened yet, so I want to be optimistic, and maybe it's like, sure, we might lose parks here and there, but maybe we'll gain more within the next 10 years. So maybe I would sell the idea, because Disney only has like The California and Florida properties, Universal, same thing, besides Texas. And Cedar Point and Six Flags are together, so I still think they might have majority parks in their chain in the US within 10 years. Maybe. Maybe. We'll see.
It I guess depends on how you look at it because I could see some of these chain. Although if you there's probably if you go by number of parks and locations, if you were like to count FECs and such, probably one of those chains, if not already, will outdo it. But if we're talking like larger parks, it's a little more difficult to say. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
let's see. Wonder how roller coaster rodeo will be this year. I think that's on a lot of people's mind as far as how that's
Yeah.
gonna go.
I'm planning to go, so I'm like, this is my first roller coaster rodeo, and he may or may not be there. I'm so sad, but I'm still excited because I mean the planning still happens, so it's not like it's getting
Yeah.
thrown in the trash because of this news. Like it's still gonna happen. So it may happen in a different capacity. Like maybe Jeffrey Siebert's not there, but at the same time, I feel like he could be there. Like he's a local. I feel like he could pop in for a little cameo. Who knows? But
It was an event that I never made it out to, but it was one I would kind of like keep my eye on as far as maybe I could fit it in it, and it just didn't quite work out. So,
yeah,
um,
what I would
but
say is this is definitely the year we should go because like, so much things happening and
yeah,
like when you get to walk on the Live Till Superman and like Cliffhanger, like with so many leadership changes, who knows if the event will still be here next year. So I might as well go and not miss it.
absolutely. Yeah, no, this if you could make it out there, definitely would be I think the year to go. Just with the um, like who knows what will happen with the event in the future.
Yeah,
So
recent leadership changes. It may not happen anymore if he's not there. Like, we don't know. So, yeah.
yeah, for sure. Let's see. Average Builder says he left a great mark in both parks that we will all remember. And as you said, there's like a foundation to build off of,
Yeah.
so that can continue.
Yeah.
Um, and then buy
Be
or
able to buy
sell
or
here.
sell.
Six
Yeah.
Flags will work with Intamin more often within the next 5 to 10 years. I know there's been rumblings of like projects over the years. Obviously, we have Quantum Accelerator just opened yesterday, I think,
Yeah.
officially.
Yesterday. Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, Georgia Gold Rusher last year. Although I know that there's been uh, that hasn't quite been the smoothest thing ever as far as it just as far as it getting going this year.
Yeah.
Um, but I will buy it. Intamin I think is real like they're one of the top in the game right now. I understand like the previous history with specifically like the with Cedar Fair. They weren't on the best terms and Six Flags didn't work with them for a good period of time. But I think their products and their coasters are just I think too good to ignore and just exclude. So I will buy that they will work with them more often than we had seen. I would say like kind of before the two recent editions. So I'll buy it.
Yeah. And I would agree because like, I mean, Intamin's been showing up a little by little around the Six Flags chain here and there. So, and who wouldn't want Intamin to work at Six Flags? Like again, like I'm trying to see a Velocicoaster at Six Flags. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna buy it for the sake that I want that to happen. Like, so yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's hard not to look at their most recent projects, whether it's the Universal projects, although obviously those are going to be at a like just crazy budget with Velocicoaster Hagrid's. But even outside of that, like the work that they've done in Europe over the years, I know that people have discussed the theming, but just as far as like the coaster itself, like Pantheon's been a beloved attraction. So just there's a and they have a new family launch coaster model they were showing off. What was it last year, a few years ago?
they're like the Thrill
So
Family launch or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
so I think there's a lot to work with there. So we have reached 8:25 Eastern. Looks like we did get through everything up to this point, unless I'm missing something. Looks good. Okay, so then we will go into the 10-year plan here. So I will pull up the slideshow for this. Just some, and actually, before I go through all this, and I'll kind of go through it quick, I'll get to the last slide here just to kind of show the plan what it looks like. It'll look like this. So when I'm
Yeah.
going through all the other stuff, you're like, what is all this extra information? Don't worry. This is, we're going to be filling this out.
Yeah.
So wanted to kind of start there before I went through the slides. Um, but pretty much just general rules and notes. We're creating a plan for additions and improvements on a yearly basis, as you could see there, through 2036. Yes, that is 10 years. I understand, like 2027, 2036. It's 10 years when you count it up. So not an error there. Before I get some comments saying that. Um, so um, so there's that. In the chat, you can provide suggestions for addition ideas. Additions are not just limited to new rides. They can be ride rethemes, refurbs, overhauls, area overhauls, infrastructure improvements, new restaurants, new food items, new events, new entertainment, etc. Anything that would
Yeah. We want to hear your
align with that.
thoughts.
Yeah, and by the way, yeah, because I've only ever been to Over Texas for like a little over 3 hours, Chad and JB here is
Help
gonna
him out. Help
be
him out.
carrying. Um, but yeah, so I think as far as these other things, oh yeah, ride removals and potential replacements, those could be incorporated in the plan. I actually have two mandatory replacements that I'll get to in a bit, or at least mandatory if we don't replace it, we'll
Yeah.
have to do a significant overhaul. Um, and then I have a 10 years, a lot of time, so new technologies and stuff could come out. So as far as like this aging well, there could be a new stuff that arises that we don't know about yet. So just wanted to mention that. Uh,
Yeah.
as far as right editions, I'm not going to go through all this. I will just kind of give the notes I had on these. So I had 2011 through 2026 because the original idea was actually a 15-year plan, but we decided to shrink it to 10. Um, so the right side has the last 10 years of additions, which just like some numbers of note, is three new coasters in that time. Two new rides that were added in those 10 years have been removed. So that's kind of an interesting note. Uh,
Yeah.
and then no additions
2000s.
to the Tower area, Old South in France, or Boomtown as far as rides go within this time frame as well. Those were just kind of the notes I had there. So closures, again, the right side is going to be the last 10 years. Um, so there's that. Oh, I also have a link to the slides in a description, just so if anyone wants to look at it anytime as we're going through it, you can, because I'm going to go through kind of quick. This is just kind of background info. Potential chopping block coasters. So the two mandatory ones I have here are Mr. Freeze and Shockwave. This is 10 years. This is a long amount of time. Um,
Yeah.
again, if we want to refurb, we can. I just think it's pretty darn realistic. They're going to have to make decisions on both of these.
Mhm.
Schwarzkopf or Shockwave being a Schwarzkopf looper with the old Schwarzkopf trains. We saw what Over Georgia did with Riddler Mindbender. They gave that new train. So are we considering that or just getting something new completely? And then Mr. Freeze, it's had a lot of downtime over the years. What exactly is going to happen with that? Even though I do know that, yes, they did just get a bunch of new theming updates. But again, we're talking a 10-year plan here. So it's pretty long term as far as
Yeah.
that goes. And then there's some other rides here. I don't know if there's any other ones you would like me to add or remove from the list. We're not removing all of these, by the way. Just want to mention that. Probably should have
Yeah.
started with that first and not scared people with like, oh my god, you're like killing everything. But is there, I guess, anything that is not on here that you would like me to add real quick? Because I could, But
I'm trying to think. I mean, all of them seem pretty realistic. Yeah, I mean, I don't see any that I wouldn't have already said on there.
okay.
But yeah, they'll play a role in my 10-year plan. They'll for sure will.
All right. Again, we're not going to kill all of these. um, and same can be said for the potential chopping block non coasters. I didn't make
Yeah.
any of these mandatory, but
Yeah, because we
the
never
top
know.
the top two, well, especially if Shockwave's going, I think the go karts are pretty
Yeah, those are
likely.
cooked. Yeah.
And then the Sky Coaster, we've seen a lot of those get removed within the Six Flags chain. So again, didn't make those mandatory, but I'll just kind of shout out those two as more like kind of realistic that something happens with them. I threw out some other ones in here as well. I know that you mentioned in your 5 year video. I just threw the Rapids on here because it's a ride type we've seen close at other parks, but at Over Texas,
Yeah.
it means a lot.
It
So
means a lot. Yeah. But it's
we,
likely. It's likely. You never know, but I hope
yeah,
not.
yeah. So again, this is like just rides that maybe we could remove for something else. So again, not all of these are going to be removed, just options.
Yeah.
As far as themed areas go, I have like an entire list of all of these. I'm gonna just kind of go through these pretty quick. We can just kind of go back and reference these, um, if needed. I don't know if you have anything you want to say on any of the themed areas. I
Nah.
separated them off by how they're listed both on the park map and Six Flags Over Texas source.
Yeah.
So USA, I incorporated the Bugs Bunny Boomtown section because it's like a subsection of it, and
It
then
used to be USA. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
yeah, and then I know Star Mall is like some things consider it its like own section, and then other things it's like it's part of the U.S. So I also threw
Yeah.
that in here, but
It's weird. I call that the, what do you call it? Like the buffer zone. Like it's just they're just like random stuff in that spot. They're not exactly all themed together, but they all used to be USA. Like it used to be Looney
yeah,
Tunes USA, but now it's Bugs Bunny Boomtown. And then that was the USA section with the jet ride and all those other things. So yeah, now it's just buffer zone, buffer to Boomtown.
yeah, it's kind of odd as far as how it's all laid out, and then because of that combination, the USA has like the most stuff is in the slides just because. Um,
Yeah,
but
Mexico and Spain.
there you go. And
Yeah.
all of these are listed in order from like when you enter the park and it's clockwise. I think I'll kind of go through these pretty quick because I think most people on here will kind of know what these are.
Yeah. And if y'all don't know, just ask in the comments and we'll help
Yeah,
explain it to you, pretty
or
easily.
or check out the slides again. I have them linked in the description for viewing.
Yeah.
Um, I also have a list of current park events. I mentioned
Yep.
that maybe we could bring in like new ones or maybe bring back old ones earlier. So that to work with. Uh, Park map here. By the way, I know they have it mostly through the app and they want you to see it through the app, but I think uh, there probably could be a little bit of a one that's not like so cut off as a PDF version, because this is what it currently looks like right now. I
Yeah.
don't know that that would be like an additions thing, but we'll note that.
Right.
Um, and then Park Satellite. Notable upcoming years. Most of this is pretty basic. 70th anniversary, 75th. Those are in 2021, 2036. I included Great America's projected closure because potentially we could vulture some rides from there once it closes. So, and then uh, projected hypothetical scenario. I don't know if we want to include this. I threw it on here in case. Six Flags was interested in buying out all the remaining ownership of Over Texas. It didn't quite go through. They backed out of it, I think, late last year. But
Yeah.
maybe that's something we could kick the tires on, or say that happens in this scenario. Um, but we can kind of do with that as we wish later. Um, and then these are like options for potential new attractions or improvements, survey, and then vulturing rides, and then looking at previous chain additions along with whatever else we think of. Some spaces for potential new attractions. You may have some other stuff that I don't list here. Um,
Trying to see Music Mill, Texas Arena, Majestic, Harley Quinn. Probably. Mm, yeah, I mean, I guess there's ride removals. So yeah, those are areas that are currently unused. I guess
Yeah.
France could be included
Oh
too.
yeah, no, France 100%. I should have. I'll
Yeah,
throw that in here real quick because you're right. That was in the
yeah,
survey too. I had that
it
written
was.
down. So
Yeah, but everything else is either a current ride or houses a ride of some sort, and would need to be removed. But those are the spots that don't have anything and could easily get taken out for anything. So we actually have space. Believe it or not, we have space to add attractions. And you know me, I'm already thinking about where they're gonna go. So
yeah, I should have thrown that in there, but yeah, I was looking at it because I was watching a walkthrough this morning, and I was like, oh wow, yeah, the France area definitely could
has space. It has a lot of
use.
space.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, wow, okay. I think I walked through it like once during my visit and just didn't think anything of it, but yeah, they definitely could use stuff. I get why it was on the survey
Oh,
as
someone in the
far as any
chat said we're
additions.
gonna have a follow-up stream in 10 years, right?
Oh my
Yes, we
god.
will.
That would be wild. I mean,
That'd be
hey,
so
if I
funny.
can be reminded in 2036,
Yeah.
um,
Prediction and be like, how many we got right?
yeah. Um, let's see. And then I threw these are just things that I had in mind as far as areas of focus or improvement, but there definitely can be more than this. I just wanted to throw out some things down. I forgot to put France in here again, but um,
It's all good though. We'll make it work.
that's not as important. Now we're right
Yeah.
here at the 10-year plan.
Here we
Uh,
are.
Again, just wanted to give a little bit of background info, probably uh, either too slow or too fast, depending on how familiar you are with the park. So um, we will get into that. And actually, I need to exit out here just so I have editing ability. So 2027. This is obviously after Tormenta rampaging run this year, and obviously they've also added a lot of other things. They redid the seating for the Southern
Southern
Palace.
Palace. Yeah.
Gotcha. And then did new theming for Mr. Freeze. They gave Batman some updates. I know they probably did a lot of other items that I'm not thinking off the top of my head, but those are the ones I can think of. Um, so that's this year, pretty big year, obviously, with a B&M Giga Dive. So 2027 probably going to be a bit of a like kind of refresh, is how you said it in your 5-year video you did it, and I agree with that. Um, the only thing I will mention here is I did look at Six Flags America's rides, like just in case, if there's anything we want to vulture there.
Yeah.
Honestly, not a whole lot. Great Adventure kind of got most of the good stuff, I'm not gonna lie. As far as
They took it all. They just like, yeah, we're gonna take it
what makes
all.
sense, because they do have a swinging ship, which obviously you just lost recently.
Right.
However, it is also an Intamin model, and it's old. It's like before 1984, so I'm like, okay, so
It's
you're probably
not.
just gonna run into the same issue you
Yeah.
had, so probably not worth. Um, and then I don't really think the coasters there make any sense for the most part.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, you could relocate the kiddie coaster, but you already have two, so like
Yeah.
probably not.
Low key, we don't
Um,
need it. We're good.
yeah, so California's Great America, when we get to that, that's where I think there's a lot more interesting options. But America,
Yeah.
there's like not really much. So I think we're probably not going to go that route. Any ideas
Yeah.
for what we do in 27?
Okay, so to set the scene, this is basically a scenario if either me or my boy Coaster Hour as CEOs or park presidents of the park. So, you know, we're being financially feasible, but we're also like just being like completely, completely like speculation. Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't worry about the money when we make our speculations. With that said, if we're being semi-realistic, I don't think we're gonna get anything next year for
As far as
2027.
like a new ride, but
Yeah. Although one that I might have an eye on is Hurricane Harbor.
mm,
That might be the water park year because we had lost Black Hole, so and it's still empty. So they got to replace it soon. So at some point that will happen either 2027 2028. But in the sense of over Texas, I don't think we're gonna get anything new unless it's like a hand-me-down and it's just a quick addition for the kiddos or filling up the space over by Harley Quinn. because that area is still looking kind of not good. So if they wanted to make it look nice, then they could pass down any sort of flat ride to fill out that spot. Or if they were smart, save for a roller coaster, which I'll get to later. But in terms of what's going to happen in 2027, I think we will get enhancements. And if I'm going to be specific, I think Texas Giant is next to receive a massive enhancement. Um, and obviously, it needs some repaint. It's looking orange right now because of how, like, what do you call it? Like the red has just fell off the track. Like it's
Yeah.
just looking orange. The trains need some work. Honestly, people have complained a lot about the windows on the giant trains, so maybe they get taken out, maybe they stay. I have no idea. And then who wouldn't love a retheme of Giant the same way they rethemed the Freeze? Like that'd be amazing. They already added a new queue line that goes underneath the station, so it's very likely that they're looking at Texas Giant. And from what I heard, they're looking at the older attractions and then going to the newer ones. But it kind of broke that cycle because of Freeze. But a Giant is highly likely because that one's not going to leave. There's no way. So if it's going to get renovation, I think that's my safe bet for 2027. Like that's the next one they may or may not look at. Yeah,
Okay. That I like that actually quite a bit. Because you're definitely right about the track as far as the
it's looking
color.
orange, orange Texas
So
Giant.
and that would be cool too. Just I think that would be a nice one to enhance the theming. I doubt they get rid of the windows personally, but
Yeah, I mean
um,
they need the tunnels used to work. The tunnels used to have lights and fog
yes.
effects. They
Mm-hmm.
don't anymore. There used to be a fire effect in the middle that doesn't work anymore. And then if you had like some sort of onboard soundtrack, that'd be even cooler too. So something like that. Yeah,
The price on that onboard
that's
audio
pushing it, but
adds a lot of money. But I would love to see the tunnels return to form, as you said. Someone mentioned bring back the fire effect. I don't know what that's related to.
That's in the middle. There's an oil derrick that says Angus oil on it, and back in the day, Giant used to pass over it, and then fire would shoot out of it in the middle
Really?
at night. Yeah, it
Wow.
only lasted one season, and I didn't even get to ride it because that was the season I didn't have a pass. But
Wow.
it's still there. Like if you ride it, you can still see like the
The
gasoline
infrastructure is
tanks.
still there.
Yeah,
Wow,
so it
okay.
just means like bring it back. That's literally all they would need to do. So it's an easy way to renovate it and be like, guys, check out new Giant. It's brand new, fire effects, lighting effects, fog effects. Like, it'd be a great way. And a new paint, obviously.
No, I love that. And then yeah, I think all of that as far as like the fire, the lights, the fog would go under theming enhancements. I don't want to write too much here because then it'll kind of bog up as far as like the what is it list. But everything mentioned would be incorporated there, so I do like that quite a bit. Turn New Texas Giant into an ace landmark. Well, we don't have the power to do that. That's not our decision.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
so they can get on that. Ace can get on that whenever they wish.
Right.
But
Start a racist clone when.
oh god, a dueling coaster
Please.
would be sick. I
It's
will
on my
say it
list.
was
It's
on
on my
a.
list.
Okay, you do actually have. I'm like, I
Yeah.
did think of it as an idea, but obviously not 27
If they
months
had
down the line.
money, but it's on my list at some point. Like I could
Okay,
see it. I could
okay,
see it's something that we could fill out that we don't currently have. So, but it depends on how much money they want to spend too.
all right, okay. No, I
Yeah.
like it. So okay, we got new Texas Giant updates. Is there um any other like things that you can think of? Or I
Um,
mean that's probably fine enough to work with. But I'm also if chat you have anything like and
yeah.
it
Let's
doesn't
hear it,
even
chat.
necessarily have to be ride related. Again, like um it could be like infrastructure as like something similar to what happened with like what they did with Southern Palace or
Yeah, if there's a restaurant they might renovate next,
yes, there
I could
exactly.
I could see Johnny Rockets being next, but I don't think
Mm,
2027. I think more 2028 because to do the renovation and a repaint, that's too much to happen in a year, especially with money. But uh Johnny Rockets is one that has to go, or not has to go, but it has to look better. And then it used to be Panda Express, but now it's Chopsticks.
Yeah.
But that one needs some renovation too because it's just not, it's always closed or it's like
Mm.
the least popular venue there. The food is not that great either. So
Yeah.
yeah, but honestly, they might not
Unfortunately.
even need it because Cocina Abuela is coming this year, so they might save Johnny Rockets and Chopsticks for 2028, like,
Okay.
potentially.
All right.
Yeah,
I like it. Those are good shout outs, especially because I know Knott's they're redoing well, they're like straight up replacing their
they're
Johnny
Johnny
Rockets with
Rockets.
something else.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
honestly, I hope
a
so
good
too.
shout out. Um,
Yeah,
and then Chopsticks, I also agree with that.
it's just not,
Something can be done
you
there. I
know.
haven't had it over Texas specifically, but
It used to be good, but nowadays, I don't know. Like, it doesn't look like Asian cuisine.
yeah, no. I had it at one time at Magic Mountain years ago, and I'm like, yep, I'm good.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so, um, let's see, Aquaman retheme. It doesn't feel right. Well, we're not. I mean, that's a lot.
That's
Let's
gonna be
see.
last on the list. Like, I mean, as much as I want a theme, like I want, because it was promised theming that never happened. But
Dang.
like we were supposed to have an indoor queue with AC
Right.
that tells the story
Yep.
of Aquaman. Never happened.
I do
So
remember that.
we got done dirty. At some point, they gotta revisit it. But at the same time, I'm actually kind of glad the theming is a little bit bland because I do want them to retheme Aquaman to fit in with the Boomtown section. Like I want that
Okay.
whole USA section to get extended like forward and become Boomtown. So
Okay.
Justice League would go, Pandemonium gets a retheme, and Aquaman gets a retheme. But that's something that would happen years later, not 2027, not 20, not 2027.
Yeah, no, that's completely fair, and I didn't even think of like yeah extending the Boomtown, but that would be cool, and then there you go, then an Aquaman retheme would be
Yeah,
justified. And hey, yeah, as
it
you
would.
said, because they didn't end up doing all that theming, it's easier to do. So
Yeah, literally, it would just mean they would add on to it because it's just basic theming, and the only thing is the train say the Aquaman logo on it, and that's it. But everything else can go and get repainted or something.
all right, sounds good. Then I think we can move on to 28. We can also kind of go back and if like something makes sense, like, oh, you know what, this would make sense to do it like this time because it's like near the area or something that needs to be addressed, we can go back to.
Yeah,
So, but 2028, I will just say I don't know if this is when you're thinking of doing something significant again. I will say this is because I had the projected closure of Great America going to be in 2027. Unless
right.
something changes, that's what it's
Yeah,
going to be now.
yeah.
There are, and to be fair, this doesn't necessarily have to be in 2028, but I will bring it up. There are two rides that I think would be great fits at Over Texas that California's Great America currently has, and they're
I
not
don't even know the
coasters.
attraction, so I want to see this.
Okay.
I'm actually really
So
curious.
one of them you'll like this. Pacific
Okay.
Gliders. It's a Zamperil Windstars 2023.
Oh, I like
Um,
those. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a little one you pull and then like you
yep.
go up and stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It
Okay.
literally was on their survey. For
For
it
the
was.
France remodel.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
So we have that, and then also, and that one especially like I would be pretty on this one because it's their newest ride. It's 2023. Like it's like basically new at that point. So I mean, not really, but like relatively.
Right. Yeah.
The other one they have that I was like, okay, this would be a great addition. Um, I hope, unless I somehow forgot that they have this type of ride, but I really don't think they do. Is Flying Eagles? This is a Larson Flying Scooters, the one where you like
I know those where you like do with the wind and it's just like,
yeah, I
yeah,
they
yeah,
have one of those. It
yeah.
is 2002, but I mean, these things I think seem to last a while, so I'm not really too concerned about the age there. Um, I mean, if we wanted to go with like the idea of the France, like give them something, I think
Yeah.
those two attractions you could throw those there. There's some other ones
Right.
in here too that
Do you know
I
what other ones are on
listed.
there?
I there's a bunch of like kitty stuff I threw in, but
But
I'll
those two are like the most thrilling that you found so far.
Those were the two that I thought made the most sense.
Okay, okay.
They do have a Zamperla Disco, but I think it kind of takes up a decent bit of space.
Right.
Um, the other ones I wrote on here that I would be interested in bringing over are like kiddie rides. So,
Okay.
um, and then I did throw a few like coasters in here, but I don't really love them to be honest. I don't think
Yeah. I don't think
um,
we're gonna get any coasters by then.
yeah, because like there's honestly not much from Great America that realistically makes sense to relocate. I hate to say it. And even the stuff that does, if it's even possible, because I know a lot of people brought up Railblazer, like I don't know if you can actually relocate that. Some people were saying you might not be able to with the way it's built. Like that doesn't really make sense for over Texas because the capacity is not good.
And we don't need it
Um,
because it's just a clone of Wonder Woman. So, you know,
that's
yeah,
fair, but like that hasn't stopped the chain previously from like throwing Goliath
true.
at Fiesta
But
Texas.
hopefully Tormentas is a sign that they're not doing that no more.
So I mean, if something comes available and like you have a spot for it, I
I mean,
don't
would I
blame.
be mad if we got it? No. I mean, who doesn't like single rails? But
Yeah, but
yeah, yeah,
the problem is it's like okay, I threw it on the list just because it's like okay, but like we're not probably doing that.
yeah.
The Wild Mouse I also threw on there, but again, bad capacity. And at Great America, dude, it has horrific lines. So I'm like, let's not throw that at Over Texas, probably. Uh,
Right.
and it's also an Arrow, so Arrow's defunct. I don't know how supporting it would work. It's simple enough. And then they have another kiddie coaster again. You already have two kiddie coasters, so and we haven't removed one yet. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we're okay there. But as far as like throwing stuff, those two, the Pacific Gliders and Flying Eagles, those made a lot of sense to me.
So that's
And
your
we,
prediction for 2028.
I, I didn't necessarily say it as a prediction. I was throwing it out there, but I guess like, I guess an idea I would have is yeah, we do that France. Um, we do give the France section some rides, and we can do these two plus maybe an actual like new ride as well.
Yeah.
I have some options there, but I'll let you go ahead as far as what you were thinking.
Honestly, I think we're in the same train of thought because uh obviously that's not a coaster year again. Sorry, enthusiasts, it's not gonna be. Like I said, I did do an interview with Jeffrey at one point, and he explained to me exactly how they even think of adding new attractions. It's more about less about the enthusiasts and more about what does the consensus want? Like what does the public want? And if we're thinking about the public, we don't have enough family attractions in the park. We do have a great kids area. I can't lie. It's a really good one. But there's two specific areas I'm watching that do need some help, which is one, the France area, because that area is like just dead. There's nothing there. You just walk through and you walk out. Like there's not even a like it's just nothing. Like you just walk through and I'm like, okay, that's France. Like wow. And then the other one is Gotham City over by Harley Quinn because that area is too intense. There's Riddler, Joker, Catwoman, Freeze, and Batman. Yeah, Batwing, but the kids are not going to be happy with Batwing alone. So, with so many big attractions, a lot of times, as someone that has a family, it's hard for them to want to go to the Gotham City section. They just want to stick around by Bugs Bunny Boomtown or the Spain area or even closer by Superman because of Boomtown. But they don't want to really go into the Gotham City section because there's not really a need for them to go there. So, I think like in general, 2028 will be a family year. I don't think a coaster, but I do think it'll be a family year with family additions, specifically flat rides. And it could either be Gotham City or by Harley Quinn. There's a games area by Gotham City that's
Oh,
around Batman.
mm-hmm.
It's not used at all. Like, I mean, people play it, not really. So you demo it or you demo one of the buildings and you loop it around behind Gotham City, you can make a full loop around because it's so weird going there. Joker's a dead end, and then you have to walk backwards. Like, just make a full loop so you can go from Batman to Joker directly. And to have a reason to go down there, you would have three flat rides, or by Harley Quinn, or France area. There's tons of space there, completely rethemed. It was on a survey, so that's more likely. They even had the Windstar on that option. And Windstar can be highly themed to a France machine, like a
Yeah.
steampunk, like Victorian era, like, like that kind of vibe. So you can have a Windstar there. You can have another flat ride there. And one of my one of my main predictions I did in that video was a Ferris wheel because a Ferris wheel is so cool to have at over Texas. Like it's not essential, but it will make sense to the France area because it just feels like
Yeah,
France.
I agree.
And then a lot of people are too scared to ride Texas Skyscraper to see the views. A lot of people are too scared to ride Tormenta to see the views. And then Oil Derrick is still scary because Oil Derrick like doesn't feel safe when you go up there. It's safe, it doesn't feel safe to the GP. So Ferris wheel is more get your kid to sit down in a little gondola. And then Oil Derrick, you just walk around on your feet. Like you're already walking all
Yeah.
day. So you want to just chill, sit down, and then go on a Ferris wheel. So I think 2028, I must say France, just to be safe, because Gotham will take a lot more work to do, but France is right there. You might as well use it, and it won't really do much when the construction happens, because it'll just be a little wall that blocks off the whole France area, and that's just a little shortcut. So yeah, I could see France getting some new attractions.
Okay, I like it. So, also, what was it? I think it was technically in the Mardi Gras section, but the Larson Flyers that got
Yeah,
relocated from Six
French
Flags.
Quarter Flyers.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm like, hold
Yeah,
up, there's too much
yeah.
to work with here.
And I wouldn't mind one
Is
of those. Those are fun actually. So, yeah, and they can theme it to like airplanes because the Windstar already looks like a plane, and then the flyers can look the same way too, and then the Ferris wheel like balloons. You know what I'm saying? So something like that. Yeah,
yeah,
let me
no,
cook.
yeah, I think we're cooking. So.
Yeah,
And I like the idea of the Ferris wheel. Yes, like some people might argue that there's plenty of rides that you get good views at over Texas, but I think for the reasons you mentioned, a Ferris wheel would be different. And then even like the one that's like okay, the one that like theoretically wouldn't scare people, like the oil derrick, well, it still does, and you're on your feet. So,
yeah, yeah,
I think a Ferris wheel definitely could exist still. And then again, within the France area, you mentioned it, like that would be a great fit. So.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, we got Swizzy in the chat. What's good, Swizzy and Mason?
so actually, I'll just throw like CGA just so it's like known that we're getting the leftovers here. Two good rides that I'm like I think would serve very well, and like these are not like band-aids that like oh we're just kind of throwing here. I think these
Yeah,
would be
and
like
and it's
rides
like
that they'd be
it's
around for a
smart too,
while.
because like it's just that it's I mean it wouldn't be a hand me down because it's still somewhat new and then better themed. And then the only new thing they would need to do is just theming enhancements and add a Ferris wheel. That's the only new thing. That'd be a cheap addition so they can save up for a bigger addition, which we'll get to. But you know, yeah.
Alrighty. Okay, so I like that. And then we can move on to 2029. So I
2029.
I feel like I've kind of or I let off of 28, so I'll let you take the lead as far as what you're thinking for 29.
All right. Well, this year is definitely weird because I still don't think we're gonna get a coaster. Like like I know that sucks to say for my own home park, but if I'm being realistic, Tormenta was expensive. It was the most expensive edition Six Flags has done, or one of the most expensive editions they have done, and especially recently. And I mean, Tormenta is a custom designed dive coaster. They also decided to renovate the whole span area, and they went with a wider gauge track that's also even more expensive. So yeah, they're recovering financially by 2029 still from Tormenta. So they have to add something that brings people to the park so they can continue making revenue, but also satisfies people. So two things could happen this year. We could end up getting a coaster, but we could also get another flat edition. Um, but at the same time, it's like pushing it. Like maybe if we're lucky, we could get a coaster. If we do get a coaster, I think we're gonna get a family coaster around there. I'm thinking Vekoma multi-launch, like Big Bear Mountain kind of thing. And
Okay.
and if we're talking an area that needs work, it could be over by Roaring Rapids, that kind of middle tower section area. At the same time, I'm thinking dark ride too, because we need a good dark ride. And I don't know if you put, I think you did put it on the chopping block. Justice League was on the
I
chopping
did.
block.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it
yeah.
definitely is. I think it was
Uh,
at the bottom because it was like one of the newer rides that was on there,
yeah.
but I'm like, no, it's on there.
I wrote it last week. Let me tell you what happened. I was writing it. The last two screens look like when you turn your brightness down all the way.
Oh God.
And there was little glitches on the screen.
Uh,
And one of the person's guns was not working while riding the traction.
yikes.
So if we're talking mandatory leaving, I genuinely think Justice League is going to be mandatory leaving. And and my fans know I low-key don't like Justice League.
I
Be-
agree. I agree. Well, I haven't done an over Texas one, but
but
yeah.
like technically Austin St. Louis were the first ones to do in the chain. Great. That doesn't matter to me because the Justice League rides are super cut and bake, overdone, same old ride. And when you do it, it doesn't feel fun in any way because it's just doing it for points. It doesn't feel immersive, like as immersive as it should be. Um, like when I see like the Warner Brothers, I think the one in Warner Brothers World, they have a dark ride with Justice League, and I'm like, that's how we should do it because it looks so
Oh, Abu
cool.
Dhabi.
Yeah, yeah, that one, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, obviously we couldn't do it like that. We don't have money like them. But so if there's gonna be a renovation, 2028, it'll be Justice League. But at the same time, I'm thinking they might as well just take the whole thing out because there's so much space right there. So if they take the whole thing out, you could add a family coaster where Justice League Station is right there, or Justice League is the station for the coaster, and it goes over Roaring Rapids, so we can keep Roaring Rapids and it messes with the water kind of thing aesthetically. But also on the survey, there was a dark ride option,
Mm-hmm.
and it was saying Western Dark Ride. I was looking around the map. I'm like, where would they put this? Because they're not gonna put it in Spelunker because Spelunker is brand new and they actually care about that attraction. So the only one that makes sense is Justice League because Boomtown is right there. So I'm thinking 2028, 2029, that's the Boomtown overhaul year because
Okay.
Boomtown needs some TLC. You could upgrade Runaway Mine Train, Mini Mine Train, Gunslinger, maybe even add one more flat ride if they wanted, because there is a little bit of space right there. They can tear down one of the buildings that's right there. And then that's also when Aquaman could get rethemed, Pandemonium could get rethemed, and we would have a brand new dark ride that would debut in Justice League space. Because believe it or not, the space of Justice League has been there for years. Like there was four iterations of dark rides that has been in the same spot. It was the Right Stuff one, which was like themed to the Air Force and being in a jet plane. Then you had the Dino 3D one. Then you had SpongeBob, and then you had Justice League. And like literally, it's so old that if you go over by the tower section, you can look at the spot Justice League's in, and it still says Right Stuff on the building behind it.
That's
So
crazy.
all they did was literally just slap the Justice League name and put a facade of the Hall of Justice, and then they put Justice League in there, and that's it. So, and that's what they've been doing for all the attractions. So I think just take the whole building out because it's probably gonna be out of code by then too. So just take the whole thing out and give me a great new dark ride that's not exactly a shooter because I like shooters, but if it's a really good shooter, like maybe trackless dark ride kind of situation, you can have Sally come back and make something even cooler. But one thing that I was suggesting was to have something like Fire in the Hole, which was like part
Mm.
coaster, part dark ride. It makes sense to be themed to oil, something like that. But that's definitely an expensive addition, so it's like highly unlikely. But I do think if there's a year where it's not a coaster, 2029 makes sense for a dark ride, and it makes sense to, do all that kind of change and overhaul Boomtown because Boomtown definitely needs some TLC. And theoretically, if France got the update, now you have Boomtown right there. So you
Okay.
walk, France has a new look. Now Boomtown has a new look because it would make that area stand out even more with a whole new France area. Because you have France and then you randomly have Justice League. So, it makes sense to have Boomtown get an overhaul that year. But yeah, what are you thinking now?
I mean that works for me. I think you have a very good point as far as like Justice League. I mean, I didn't realize it was in that bad of condition, but also again, they literally had. I think on the survey, Or oh, wait, no, I don't think it was this park specifically. There was another Six Flags park that they had a dark ride concept that it was like this would replace Justice League. I don't think Over Texas had that on their survey,
No, I
but
think ours said. Oh no, ours said it would replace Runaway Mountain or Justice League.
oh, okay,
Back when the Giga was a part of the survey, there was another addition, but that was an indoor coaster, not a dark ride.
gotcha.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
no, the logic I think still works.
yeah.
So no, I like that. I'm down for that. I have uh no notes there. Um,
Swizzy's like the screens are so bad.
so um, oh
Yeah.
my God, retheme Justice League to the Cowboys because it's mostly broken and depressing.
Oh my
um,
gosh. Good thing I'm not a Cowboys fan.
I can't throw. That would be the throwing stones from glass houses argument for me as a Falcons fan. So yeah, not I won't comment much there. Um, but let's see.
Someone said replace it with a Transformer the Ride 3D clone.
Oh
That'd
my
be cool.
gosh, that'd be awesome. But
Just they don't have the money for that. I don't
yeah,
know.
dude. Also, if they're struggling with the upkeep of like Justice League
Yeah, and that's
for
why like I
Transformers.
yeah, it's like I want the edition, but I kind of don't because I don't know if
Yeah,
it's gonna be kept well after
I know.
the
That's
first
the thing
year.
that's so tough. I'm hoping that like, it's hard to say, but like I'm hoping that's like because I want these parks to have dark rides and I'm hoping that like, with Six Flags like obviously selling off the parks, this is like a general thing, but like hopefully when they're
Right,
able to focus more on these like kind of like, not as many parks to deal with that they
right.
can, put more money and resources in like, keeping this the theming up because um like themed attractions they can be like really high quality attractions but it's all dependent on like how well it's being maintained
Hmm.
outside of the ones that are just so bad they're good cat in the hat but
Traumatizing ride.
dude that ride is so funny though
Uncanny
I
Valley.
I love it but like my god um, anyways but yeah no I like that a lot. I'm just realizing on the 10-year plan, I think I'm already running into an issue as far as spacing.
Oh
So
shoot.
we'll be okay. I'll adjust it and resize if need be in a bit if I
Yeah,
need to. So
yeah.
but we'll be good. So I think that's good for Boomtown unless you have anything else. And I think I incorporated everything. Um, because yeah, you had update Runaway Mine Train, Mini Mine Train. Oh, you put in Gunslinger, right?
Yeah, but you can
Okay.
just say Boomtown section. Everyone knows when you say
Uh,
that.
update existing rides
Yeah.
and then we'll do retheme. Okay, that looks good. That's a pretty big year, but it's not a coaster, so
Yeah. Yeah.
that I think works. No, I like that.
Expensive, but not in the sense that it's like breaking the budget. Yeah.
Okay, so 2000. I think we're thinking, although I think 2030 or 2031. I know 2031 it's like the 70th, so people would think that could be like a large coaster year.
Yeah.
Um, you could potentially also do like a year earlier. We've seen parks do that.
Right.
Um, I will say, um, I don't know what you're thinking for the next big coaster. I think that like as far I you did mention the family coaster that could um although well I guess since we're doing a new dark ride the station wouldn't be in the spot that you mentioned
Yeah.
but like kind of in that area like kind of going over uh, the rapids um
Mhm.
but I think one of the areas and I think you had this in your video you mentioned that yeah that the big amphitheater sorry Music
Music
Mill I
Mill.
think
Music Mill. Yeah.
um that could make sense as a spot and I think I kind of showed it on the slides but I think that tower like kind of the tower area there's a few rides there that I think could get removed. Shockwave is
Hmm.
one of them. I'm not saying we
Yeah.
have to remove it yet but I'm saying we could Basically. Um, so I guess I roundabout way of saying this.
You think tower section is next to be
I,
enhanced?
yes, and I think we need to start closing stuff in 2030. Is my
Yeah.
like, and I don't know necessarily Shockwave. Well, actually, yeah, no, probably because if we're replacing in 2020 31 probably. But I think the Sky Coaster,
Hmm.
the go karts, well, go
Sky
karts and
Coaster gotta
Shockwave.
go.
Yeah, no, I think we need to get those out.
Yeah.
It's kind of a harsh way to
Yeah.
say it, but
I know you're right. No, it's funny because you literally. Well, wait, is that your prediction? Because I'll share mine, but I'm gonna wait for you to like say yours.
yes, I'm well 2030. I don't know that we get the coaster, but I think like get rid of the okay, I think this is what I'm gonna go with. Get rid of the Sky Coaster.
Okay.
Um, and then maybe get a replacement in that spot.
Right.
Which one of the concepts I was thinking of now, I know the capacity is not the best on this, but we've seen other parts with pretty high attendance get one of these,
Yeah.
and that goes over the water, right? If as I recall,
Yeah. They
uh,
have like a little lake. Like it's technically like the overflow of Roaring Rapids, which is why it goes over the water. Yeah.
I think an SNS Scream and Swing would be kind of cool in that spot. That's kind
Yeah.
of what I was thinking. That was just
I'm
a
with
thought
you
I
on that.
had.
I'm with you with
Okay.
that. That'd be really cool. Like flying over the pathway, you see the gas, but then you go over the water. Like that's cool. That's a good spot for one.
Oh, I didn't even realize. Yeah, someone in chat did mention an SS over Texas fan did mention an SNS Scream and Swing earlier. So I guess the plot is different,
Yeah, but he's
um
on the track. He's on the track
but
because
the road thing would be cool. So
yeah, because like
but
Dive Bomber already goes over the pathway when you walk by Superman. Like you see people go over you, and it kind of extends out to the water by Runaway Mine Train. So you could definitely swing over in that area. Like it'd be really a really good spot for one.
okay. So that's my thought. Yours?
Okay, so and Swizzy already like read my mind. What Shockwave talked about yet? Okay, for me, I consider 2030 and 2031 together because
Okay.
part one's gonna happen 2030 and part two is gonna happen 2031, which is I'm sorry for the Shockwave fans. Shockwave is leaving that year.
Yeah.
I feel deep down that this is not even like a prediction anymore. I feel like I for real think Shockwave is gonna leave then, and here's why. That is an anniversary year for Shockwave. I forgot which year, but one of those 2 years is an anniversary for Shockwave because we celebrated the anniversary of Shockwave back in 2023, and I didn't write it down, but I know that 2030 or 2031 is a Shockwave anniversary year.
Hold on that.
I think. Double check though.
No,
Double check. Double check. What year is
you're
it?
wrong. Okay,
Okay. 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 What is it? What is it?
so 28 would be its 50th. That's fine that it's a little after. I don't think okay, so it had its 50th. Like at least
Okay.
we kind of
Yeah.
got there.
So
But
that's what I
yeah.
was thinking then. That's what I was remembering. So yeah. So they had their 50th right on 28. They'll probably do
Yeah.
another event that's like yay, like Shockwave, like 50 years, and then
Mhm.
it's gonna leave. It's gonna leave in 2 years because or either it's gonna leave 2028 or it's gonna leave 2030, 2031. I think 2030, 2031. Maybe it'll
Yeah.
be nice this time and tell us in advance and be like a Thunderation situation where it's like I don't know why that rhymes, but uh, they'll be like it'll close for a year or you have 1 year to ride it and then it'll close for good,
Mhm.
and then they'll probably leave it empty for like a year or so and then get to work or something like that.
Okay.
But to me 2030 2031 makes sense because you were saying tower section. I'm thinking tower section as well, unless it happened in 2029. But I'm saying like for the sake of our prediction or our personal theory, if we were being CEO or park president, uh, tower section needs a lot of work. So yes, take dive bomber out because we don't need upcharge additions because no one even rides upcharge attractions nowadays. Uh, Go karts has to go too. It always gets flooded. And then Shockwave, I really think it's the next attraction. Now I know people are saying Freeze, but here's the thing, and it's not because Freeze got rethemed, but from what I heard from when I interviewed like the staff and like asking people who work at the park, Freeze is the most popular attraction in the park at this current moment. The only way Freeze could ever go if it's something like monumental, like it broke down and there's no way of fixing it, like super expensive, or if somehow it dropped from number one. But it's not, that's not gonna happen. Like it might be close with Tormenta and Freeze, but I really think Freeze is still sticking around. I mean, otherwise they would have not renovated it because they wouldn't even bother. But one that's been suspiciously quiet for me this past year was Shockwave because there's not been any renovations. Even on its anniversary year, when I went to that media day, there was no renovations to the attraction. Right now, it's currently broken down and will be broken down for a while because they have to
Hmm.
do something with the trains or something like that, I think is what it is. Um, so it's already having its fair share of issues. And then I know people are saying, well, it's an ace landmark. It can't go.
That doesn't mean anything. That when
Like,
people use that argument, no, I can't
I can't take
like
it seriously because
yeah.
like think of it this way so the viewers understand. It's like if you have your own roller coaster and then the organization comes and say, "We love your roller coaster. I'm gonna give you a sticker." Boom, you get a sticker.
Yeah, you get a
And then you're
sticker.
like, "All right, I'm gonna destroy it." And you'll be like, "But it has a sticker on it." I'm like, "So it's my roller coaster. I want it gone." So, in the same way, Shockwave has an award, an amazing award. It's classified, doesn't mean that it's going to stay any longer than it should. And the fact that it's been very quiet lately, there's no repaints happening, there's no work being done to it. I think it's next to go way ahead before Freeze. And if it has to go, that's why I consider 2030 and 2031 part one and two, because they might do a filler ride in 2030 with the Scream and Swing, like you suggested, and then 2031 new coaster, which is going to go in Shockwave's plot, which I believe is either a coaster we have not seen yet, because by then there might be new models that come out, something interesting by Vekoma or Intimate or something like that. But one thing I would really want, hyper tilt, hyper tilt
Okay.
coaster, like give me that because tilt coasters are so unique. They're so cool. I love circuit breakers so much, and I wouldn't want a normal tilt, but if they want to go with another record-breaking attraction, hyper tilt would make it the tallest tilt coaster in America. So, and then think about it, it's like right by the freeway. Maybe it tilts, and like when you like the tilt or yeah, the tower is further away. So when you make that little turn that's like circuit breaker, it goes right over the freeway as you turn around. Like it kind of sticks out a little bit, you know,
Yeah.
something like that. So that's my piece. But I think Shockwave is cooked by 2030, if not earlier, if not earlier. But by
All
then it
right.
should definitely be gone by then.
um yeah, no, I think that works. I for now just put in 2030. We're gonna close Shockwave. We're gonna close the go karts. That's underneath
Yeah,
it. We're gonna
yeah.
close Dive Bomber. I put in the SNS Scream and Swing. Are we okay to lock that in for
Oh, I'm
2030?
definitely okay. I mean, I would love that. Like Dive Bomber is great, but a Scream and Swing, they're so fun, and that plot of land is so perfect for one because you go over the water twice, you go over the people. It's a ride that you don't have to pay for, and it has great capacity, especially if it's like one that has two. I mean, I think they all have two, but some of them have
Yeah.
like one or something like that. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm down with that, and it's also very different than Riddler. It's not the same. So
Yeah,
like
for
it's not
sure.
like, oh, we have Riddler, you can't have a Scream and Swing. Like, no, they're very different. So yeah.
No, I think, yeah, that's a good plan for 2030. 2030, the hyper tilt. I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't gotten pushed back in the chat because there's kind of a point that could be made that I kind of disagree with as far
I don't
as
mind. I want to hear it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
well, I'm not saying I would make this point because we've literally seen a park that has a tilt and a dive coaster.
Yeah.
But some people would argue, well, you have two coasters that have a similar gimmick, but I mean, Siren's
Yeah.
Curse seemed to do pretty darn well at Cedar Point, so
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't
because
really have and they would be. I mean, a tilt versus a dive is very different.
that's
So,
very different. After riding
um,
Circuit Breaker, it's like, yo, this thing is different. And I rode Cliffhanger the day before, so I had the sense of both, and they're both around the same
perfect.
height. So I'm like, yeah, this is different because until you fully are like hanging, like you feel that sense of hanging, and a dive coaster is more play with your fear and look down kind of thing. So yeah, yeah, I can see that.
Also, I the aspect you mentioned of it being eye-catching as you're going to the park, I my understanding is that area where Shockwave is doesn't currently get the most foot traffic. So I kind of think if you're adding a new coaster over there, you need to make it something that like has a presence, so people like are
Hmm.
like,
It
yes, we're
has
gonna
to.
go over there. Because like yeah, you could add like a family lunch or something, but
Mm.
you're not gonna be able to see it throughout the park. So
Right. And then a
um,
multi-launch is one of my other like option Bs, but like would it stand out only if it had like a spike or something, like something interesting, like a unique element.
yeah, you could do a
But
spike. Yeah, that would work.
but the other thing is like I'm also thinking about the plot of land. I don't know if you know this, but that area is a floodplain and has been an
Hmm.
issue for years, which is why nothing has gone in that area since Shockwave. Um, but a tilt coaster, you're a little bit elevated because circuit
Yeah.
breakers like Q is like on a second floor, and then the tower still holds the coaster high up. Sure, it goes underground, but maybe over Texas doesn't. It just goes close to the ground. But they could easily keep it elevated and high up, so it will work with the floodplain even then. So that's why I'm thinking tilt coaster could make sense because all the equipment would be on the tower, not in the bottom to get fried from water or something like that.
Yeah, and actually that would not be good for like a low to the ground launch coaster.
Yeah, unfortunately, I
So
wish I wish it would be, but no, no, it's not.
didn't
Yeah.
even realize that. That's a great point. So
Yeah.
I'm honestly cool with rolling with that. I just want to see if there's anything else I would consider because I think that's really good. Um oh god,
Shoot, a
there's
throw glider.
that would kind of also be well. Actually, no. It would. You could have it elevated, so that could work. No, I
Right.
throw glider. I did think of, but I was just like, would it go high enough off the ground? I think
Yeah,
it
that's
is.
true.
I don't think it would. So
Because
I
we don't
do
have a
look.
flyer, so that could add to the lineup.
That's true. I think it would be a good addition. I don't know if although I don't. I mean, there's only so many areas you can put something right, but I don't know that
Right.
that's the best spot for it.
What does the
So
chat say?
I really like that. Yeah, let's see if what chat has to say if they got anything. We got some agreement here, so I like that. I'm
Texas Tilt.
uh let's
Texas Tilt,
see.
that's a cool name. Texas
There's
Tilt.
a hmm, I'm kind of scared to bring this thing up, and I don't know. There is an I'm trying to think how to do this, and also I kind of was maybe thinking more of this for freeze, although even then if we were gonna replace it because that plot of land is really weird. I don't know what would work with it. I don't even know if this would,
Yeah.
but I think I'm gonna save what I have for now because
Okay, say it. Let's
it's
hear it.
kind
Let's
of
hear it.
it's kind of spicy as far as a
Hold up,
potential
chat.
option
Buckle
for
up.
over
Buckle up.
Texas. I'm not saying for the shockwave plot, but I did put down in my options because multiple parks got this, over Texas didn't. And I'm
Okay.
not saying this would be as tall as the one being built currently,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we're the mock tower coaster concept.
Mock Tower coaster concept? Hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to
That's
remember what it
it's
looks like.
Project Purple. Is
Oh, oh,
like a smaller version of that
oh.
as a freeze replacement. That is probably further down the line. I'm not saying that's
Yo,
like something that I like was like I'm banging the table for, but I'm like
that might cause some huge controversy. All the Texan fans will riot more than Kingdom Come.
I'm just
Yo,
I like again, I was kind of going through this. I'm like, okay, I'm like collecting stuff from the survey and like just finding options. I'm like,
Swizzy's
well,
like, bro, what? Oh my.
hey, civilian
Honestly, I
satellite
dig
approves.
it.
And I say this, and you, how do you pronounce it? Is it Swizzy?
Swizzy, yeah.
Swizzy, gotcha.
Swizzy, yeah.
Said Freeze is your favorite in the park. I agree. Freeze is my favorite in the park as well, so I'd hate to see it go. And though you did give some extra insight that, if it's that popular, like, it'd have to have a major issue.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, and we're talking 10 years here. This may be
Yeah.
going way too far out, by the way. Like, this may be like end of the line, but we're here now.
Yeah.
Um, I think you might have to, they're probably going to have to do something. So
Yeah.
whether that's an overhaul, like we can try to figure it out. Um, but if not, I mean, I'm just saying, it's an
Like,
option.
okay, I see it. I see what you mean. But here's a new concept pretty insane because I a lot of people when you say freeze is going, they think like freezes plot and only freezes plot. Like that's the only way that we can get something right. Hear me out though. Freeze's plot plus Harley Quinn's plot. Because if by then there's still nothing
Mm,
there, they can add a full circuit coaster that either starts at Harley Quinn or starts where Freeze started, and it goes over the pathway of Gotham City with an out and back layout, kind of like an L.
let me go
It
to
goes
what
the
is it?
park, the satellite. Yeah.
Satellite actually isn't that great for this. I just realized
Oh,
it's kind of small,
maybe if you like
unfortunately.
put up Google Earth or something. Oh wait, no, I don't know if it would work, but
Yeah.
uh,
It. Let's see. I could. Um. Let's. Or can I zoom in here?
maybe,
Um.
maybe not.
Okay. Because the problem is it's weird because I only have this one tab I can work with. Okay, I can
Oh,
kind of
okay,
do
there we go,
this.
there we go. Okay, okay.
Okay,
Zoom in
so
towards where freeze is at.
um, it
It's right
be
there. And it's in the gray boom where it says Boomtown Depot. Zoom in right there.
okay.
Yeah,
Still,
yeah.
the quality is horrible. I
It's
apologize,
fine. Like
chat.
they'll they'll get it. Okay, now
um,
now scroll it over, like pull it over to the other side. Yeah, yeah, yeah. A
okay,
little bit
yeah, over
more.
here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then a little bit
Okay,
more. Okay, okay. And then
okay.
right there, right there. Okay. So right there where it says Boomtown Depot, like you take all that plot of land of Freeze, or you keep the station, but it's a brand new station for the coaster, a multi-launch, and it goes to the right towards where
Mm,
Batman is going, but it goes over the pathway, over the Batmobile, over the arcade area, and into the plot of land of Harley Quinn and going around like in a circle kind of down there, and then go
okay.
back. And then the kind of like Alpha Fury at Kenneth's Wonderland, the brake run is right over a pathway at the end. So it's like
Mm,
right where Gotham's entrance is. So when you go in through Gotham, now you have a coaster that's over you, wrapping up the attraction. So it's
that would be pretty sweet.
a full circuit multi-launch either from Premiere, Intamin, or Vekoma. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's the replacement we're thinking for Freeze,
Okay.
that's what I'm thinking. Or it could even be a mock spinner multi-launch, but it's that
Yeah,
kind
an
of layout, you
extreme
know.
spinner. Like I did, I also threw that on the thing just because it was on the surveys as well, and it'd be sick to see. But
Yeah.
um, anyways, I think for 2031, getting back on track there, um, I caused this side tangent for my horrific tower coaster idea. Um,
Well, someone said
I
Texas Tower ain't a bad name.
that's true. That's
Texas
true.
Tower, the Texas Tower.
Dude, if that actually happens, so, like someone's gonna dig up the stream and be like, "You did this.
Bro predicted it back in 2026.
You did this. How
Six Flags like,
could you?"
write that down.
Um,
Yo,
but for 2031, I'm down with the Vekoma Hyper Tilt. I love that.
that you can put Vekoma Hyper Tilt JB and then put Carrick. You put like the tower. You put
Well, that
Dash
wouldn't be
Tower.
2031. That was that again. That would be further down the line, especially because we kind of figured out. Like, I think that actually is a good fit for Shockwave. I did like. I was thinking that more for Freeze, but I was like, well, at least if you put it where Shockwave currently is, like at least it would be like a big structure. But
Right.
um, which I thought think is important, at least like somewhat important with that plot of land. But I think the
Yeah.
hyper tilt accomplishes that pretty well. So and I like that better. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah,
History just says,
okay.
"Hey, Josh has a record." I know that's right.
So, um, yeah. So we'll do that. 2032. So this is after we've done the tower overhaul, which we haven't listed this stuff. There's probably other updates that would happen in the tower area along with what we mentioned here. But
Yeah.
we overhauled tower. We expanded Boomtown and overhauled that. We overhauled France. But we are just coming off a big year of a big coaster, so this is probably going to be kind of like a 2027 kind of type year,
Yeah.
where it's a little more laid back.
Hmm.
Um,
Water addition, potentially at Hurricane Harbor, something like that.
yeah. Heck, I'll just I can. I would hope they would have, because they recently lost something, they would throw something in here. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know how feasible it is to relocate water slides. I think it may have been done before, but
I have no idea. I've never
you
seen.
have some options there if they want to go for it. But
They
with
could.
Great American, not saying they have to go that route, but I can go back and do that at some point. But we could also like throw that for this year. I can Hurricane Harbor edition. Admittedly, I did like zero research on that because um, I was more so focusing on the dry park. But obviously, because this is near it, like they're kind of incorporating, I guess, both like kind of in the, like when they're planning stuff
Yeah.
out. So
Yeah. But if we're talking enhancements, dang, let me think. Because we're covering most of the bases so far. We did Giant. Shockwave is gone by now. Freeze already has an update. So I think the next enhancement would probably be Judge Roy's Cream.
okay.
Uh, I don't think Judge would leave. Like, it's just very complicated. Like, as
Well,
much
wait,
people
but
want it.
but wait, if they had bought all the land remaining from the shareholders,
Oh, okay. That would
would
change.
that, yeah, I assume that because I think what is the issue that like they don't have like full rights to the land
Yeah. They don't
currently.
have full rights to land. Yeah.
So now I don't know that they are gonna do it, but
Right.
I assume that like if Tormenta does really well, they the chain's in
They're
a
gonna buy
good
the park.
spot.
Yeah.
We can incorporate and like just imagine that they actually do it, which gives us a
Right.
little more freedom. I'll entertain it for this.
Okay.
If you want to do anything there.
Like uh, to make a whole new coaster would be like still very expensive, especially coming off of
Yeah.
what came to Shockwave. Um, dang.
Maybe we can push it out a little bit too. So there's like
Yeah,
options, but that's something we can play around with, I think.
yeah. Because I could totally see Judge getting taken away, and we get a new like GCI Woody, like something like that. But that wouldn't be till like later. Um, but maybe for the sake of like renovation, maybe they do keep Judge Roy for a little while, um, and they retheme it, like not retheme it, but theme it better. Like the
Okay.
tunnel could have effects in it. Uh, the paint on the ride, the queue line can look a little better. Another
Gravity Group
area,
retrack I just saw. I mean,
Gravity
they
Group
could do
retrack.
it. It would make it better. I don't know how much better you can make it. It's not
Right.
really much to build off of, to be honest.
Or
But
honestly, I just came up with a great idea because somebody just mentioned it. Oh, never mind. I don't
oh,
see
here
it.
we
I don't
go.
see it anymore.
Oh wait.
But someone said Runaway Mountain change. Now that I think about it, Runaway Mountain could be that year where it gets a retheme,
Hmm.
because that's a classic attraction. So that whole basically how it works is that whole area is also its own little area, kind of like France. It's the Johnson Creek section. The Johnson Creek section has been there since the park opened, so it's like very classic kind of style. It feels like you're walking through a forest around there. So I could totally see them saying that the newest addition for 2020 or 2033 or 2032 is that the new Runaway Mountain, because you would have new effects that happen inside, animatronics, maybe fire effects, smoke, lighting, themed effects on the outside, and then overhaul Johnson Creek as a whole with new shops, new stores, kind of like what's going on with the boardwalk at Great Adventure, but on a smaller scale. That's not that expensive.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That way we can save Judge Way Scream for later.
Johnson Creek is what it's called.
Yeah,
The
Johnson
new.
Creek area.
Um, okay. So we'll do that. I like that. Um,
He says Judge do need to go. Real.
It's
Yeah,
the wooden coasters are always interesting because like theoretically, so long as you're willing to maintain it, like you can just they can like go forever pretty much.
yeah.
But I
But
mean,
Judge is just not that interesting. Like it's just, it's all right.
also, I mean, especially if the park buys out all the land, it's already like
It's
I don't know
prime real
what the
estate.
rider I don't know what the ridership is or how much foot traffic it gets, but it's like off the beat. It's kind of off the beaten path. Like, do I really want to keep that thing? Like
Yeah,
I don't think so. So I don't think it's
yeah,
crazy to get rid of it.
right. Yeah, it's
So
just, I'm gonna save it for later. But for 2032, I would say another renovation year. And if they're gonna choose one for the year, I see the whole Johnson Creek area getting renovated,
okay,
Runaway Mountain getting something new, like something like that. Yeah,
all right. No,
yeah,
that works. I like that. Um, let's see. So that's 2032. Now we're in 2033, 2 years after the hyper tilt.
right.
Um, okay. Um, and then so kind of interesting timing. I don't.
Yeah.
I will say in this universe, I can probably add a disclaimer like at the very bottom that at some point Six Flags bought all the shares within this 10 years. But the judge prepping for a Judge Roy Scream replacement does seem kind of interesting. Um, and I'm trying to think as far as all the additions we did. There is a lot of coaster related stuff. I ain't gonna lie, even if it's like not new coasters.
Yeah.
But like they're updates, so I think it makes sense. And we did
Yeah.
add like we did give France an overhaul, which was a flat ride package. We did get an
Right.
SNS Scream and Swing.
hmm I
Um,
think by then, like something's gonna happen at IAPA, and we're gonna have like the next Axis coaster, like the coaster everyone wants.
bro, but
Like
no one's building the Axis coaster though,
no one's building the Axis. That one
except for
park in
set.
Saudi or something.
Actually, it's they bought multiple, but
Oh wow.
I mean, well, the problem is it's just kind of like I don't think anyone's willing to take the risk on
Yeah,
it.
which is fair, totally fair. I mean, it's expensive.
So, well,
But what I'm
we don't
saying
know what the
is,
price is, but yeah,
yeah. But I'm thinking by then, like, there's probably some sort of new coaster. Everyone's like, this is gonna come here, this is gonna come here, and it might come there. Or this is like a new flat ride that's trending across theme parks that by then over Texas will get because we're entering into uncharted territory. Like this is where something has to have changed within 5 years. Because if we go back 5 years from now, like who would have thought that we would have get giga dives and like throw gliders and all those kind of things. So yeah, by then it's like, oh
I,
shoot.
I will kind of push back on the Giga Dive being like that crazy of a concept. I think it's been like
Yeah,
kind of a joke concept. Granted, yes, a joke. So like not something people have taken seriously. Like
yeah,
Yukon Striker was pretty tall, so it's not like it was. I think like the eventuality of it was like that insane. Although I mean, it would have been a little bit like going back
yeah,
because I know people would bring it up and it'd be like, haha, funny.
yeah,
Like that's not happening. Um, but you do bring up a good point that like we are probably at the point where we're probably dealing with something that there is a very good chance we're dealing with something that we don't know about. I think we just
yeah,
kind of got to use what we have though.
yeah.
Is
If
what I
that's the
mostly would work.
case, maybe Gotham overhaul, like
Mm-hmm.
in terms of the Harley Quinn area, because from our map, we haven't touched it yet. So if that's the area that has not been touched by then maybe we have a new section that from Harley Quinn's plot of land where we have kitty attractions and something like that in that
Okay.
area. Yeah, maybe,
Okay.
maybe.
That's a thought. I do
Yeah,
like that, but that would be let's. I'm trying to think because well, if you are like sure that like they're probably gonna if you think that like they're really gonna keep Mr. Freeze until they can't, do we just decide we're gonna do an overhaul? Like, do we just do that, or do
Mm,
you think we
that's
should
kind of a good
get rid
point.
of it?
That's kind of a good point because
Because
if they're focusing on Gotham, then
yeah,
Freeze is
I'm
yeah,
I'm thinking either we can do an overhaul, and then also along with that we can do add those attractions, or we can kind of do it how we did it with the tower area, where it's like, okay, we are going to plan for the freeze replacement.
yeah.
Here's like the rides that are going to be in that Harley Quinn space. Like we'll create the loop in that area, and then the year afterwards is the freeze replacement. That's kind of the way I'm thinking about it now
That's
that
true.
we've brought
And
it
think
up.
about it, like if theoretically in this scenario, in this alternate universe, we have a Giga Dive, we also now have a highly themed area, two highly themed areas, a really great dark ride, and now a Vekoma Hyper Tilt. The park is probably making bank by then, hopefully. And then they're
And
like,
you said yourself that if it was not the most, or well, like potentially if it's not the most popular ride in the park, and now we
oh,
have
I think
two.
it's Frozen.
Uh-oh, wait, hold on, what? I can
Hold
I
on.
hear you.
I think your
Hold up.
screen's frozen.
I'm still on here. Hold up.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. I could hear you and see you, but apparently it was frozen on your end for me. Is that right?
Oh, weird. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
It
is
just,
odd.
I don't know. So you were saying something that I said
Sorry.
what?
I was saying that, well, you said, and yeah, I think you were making this point that, like, Mr. Freeze, from what you've heard, is, the most popular ride. Well,
Right,
with
right.
those two new coasters,
It might not
it
be.
may
It
not
might
be.
not be. Yeah.
So,
And by
um,
then it's like, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years since the Mr. Freeze overhaul and retheme. So it wouldn't be that bad to
yeah,
tear
no,
it
I
out
think that's
now.
real. I think that's actually feasible.
Because
So,
we got to enjoy it for 6 years. That's a good amount of time. It's not like it closed in a year, Like
yeah.
it wasn't a waste. Like they probably got the money back by then.
Okay, I think we're gonna do it. I think if you're cool with it, we'll
Yeah.
we'll add
So
the
Gotham overhaul.
attractions,
Yeah.
Gotham overhaul,
Freeze closes.
family friendly attractions, and then freeze closes. I do kind of want to get some ride models in here. I don't know if you're the best with flat rides, models.
Um,
I did have some, in the case of doing this. We are looking more, I think, what, family style, I assume. So, in general, um,
I'm trying to think what flat rides I know of. Um,
we didn't do I know Fiesta Texas has this, but we didn't do a Nebulas when we did the France overhaul. So
True.
that's when I feel
Nebulas
like
could
it could
go there.
work.
Poison Ivy, Toxic Spin, something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do Gotham overhaul.
Monorail, like little monorail. Like
We're literally doing the Fiesta Texas thing. Well, hey, to be fair,
you know, if you know, you
yeah,
know.
almost. Anyways, but
Hey, I mean, okay, think about it this way too. It's so far away that
yeah,
no
no,
one
it's
would care if we
definitely
have
like
two
exactly,
monorails.
exactly. Okay,
So,
it is
like,
just kind of funny the idea of doing it.
Swizzy.
Um,
Oh my
um,
gosh.
but anyways, actually, let's do close, Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, because technically, if we say close that year, it doesn't mean it closes the beginning of the year. It could
Yeah,
close like December of
yeah.
2033.
Same parallel nebulas. We can go with the mini monorail. It
Monorail.
is funny because, like, yeah. Um, let's see. Outside of that, I'm gonna go to Zamparilla's site real quick because I'm not gonna lie. More of the stuff I got was thrilling because I was like mostly looking at actually wait, I do have the list of like the rides that we could have relocated from Great America, so there might be something there that makes sense. Um, I feel like we should have something that's more actually like straight up kiddie oriented though.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
because Nebulas is like kind of family. I don't want to do another like Dumbo ride. They already have like three of those or two of those.
let's just say
Um,
IAPA random ride.
I have a random right now. I kind of want to get something. So I think I can find something real quick. I kind of do want to get something. Um, You were going to suggest a monorail connecting over Texas to nearby sports stadiums. That might be a city of Arlington
Yeah,
thing, and we might
yeah,
try to maybe help out with that a little bit. That'd be sick. That would be
yeah.
kind of cool.
That'd be really cool. Let it connect to Hurricane Harbor too.
So, um, does the Imperial not have that? They have a ton of flats. They gotta have more kitty stuff than what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of like,
Maybe a new drop tower. I mean, why not add three?
dude, three. I mean, one of them could have gone by then. So, dude, yeah, they actually. Oh,
Or like a
well, I
little
don't.
mini swing of some sort. Like a
We
like
could.
the one like a mini Riddler, like the one at SeaWorld San
Oh
Antonio.
my God, I know what you're talking about.
Yo, wait, let us cook.
Okay, that'd be
Mini
funny.
Riddler.
The other one, there's a crazy bus. I don't know how you would make that DC themed. Actually, you could have like Superman underneath it. You could make it work.
Yeah.
Crazy bus is the
Yeah,
thing
I
that
know
goes
those.
around.
Yeah.
Um,
But hey, now that I think about it, I like it more and more. Mini Riddler,
okay.
like,
What
you
is that thing
know,
called? I want to
I
look up the
forgot.
model so that way I
It is in
actually have
parallel
it
though,
down
no?
right here. I'm not 100% sure. I'm really good with my dark rides, as you can tell. Or not dark rides, sorry, flat rides. Yeah, now I'm calling them dark rides. Oh, here we go. Happy Swing. There it is.
Happy Swing.
Zamperla Happy Swing. There it is. Found it.
That'd be cool because it would make kids get ready for Riddler, like, and it's aesthetic. It has lights to it and stuff. It's cool.
All right, I like it, and that'll add um, two like anyone can do it attractions, and then one more kitty oriented one. So I think that's Gotham needs that. That's great.
Yeah. Or even a train ride, like a little mini one too. I highly doubt it though. It's not really
Yeah,
Six Flags' like thing, So yeah,
but I think those are good. So I
yeah,
like
pretty
that.
good. Pretty good.
Um, and then yeah, okay. So 2034. This is the Mr. Freeze replacement year. Now
Mr.
that we have
Freeze
it.
year.
SBF Visa's whole catalog, I could have looked at SBF Visa. Like they definitely have some crossover as well. So, but anyway, we're beyond that now. Uh, let's see. So, I guess I'll. You did mention like a premier launch coaster or like a multi-launch.
Yeah,
Uh,
Alpen Fury kind of vibe.
okay. Would we still
Yeah.
be able to use the area-ish that you were talking about now that we added this stuff, or would it have to be a little different?
Yes and
Um,
no. I mean, technically yes, because it could still go over the kids
over.
area. Right. Like it wouldn't do anything insane. And there's still plenty of space back there. Um, assuming Joker is still here too. What if Joker gets taken out too? I don't know.
Oh, don't
But
do that. Don't. That doesn't deserve that. Um,
but
I know some people would love that though, but um,
but no, I could totally see them still let it go over the area because Alpine Fury literally goes over a lot of areas. So, and then maybe that's the year they go with dueling coaster, like West Coast Racers kind of thing. And it's like uh Batman and Robin or the Flash and Reverse Flash, you know what I'm saying? Like racing ride, something like that.
oh, yo, Flash and Reverse Flash would be kind of sick, actually.
That'd be kind of tough. I
That
wouldn't
would
lie.
be. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I
And
love
then
that.
and then the reverse flash train is actually backwards.
Backwards. Oh my God, you're
Oh.
cooking. You're cooking. I love that.
Yo, that would actually be so sick. What the
Ooh,
heck? Yeah.
that would be
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, one side goes
Okay.
forward, the other one goes backwards.
So in this case, they would like be different tracks. It wouldn't likely be a Mobius.
Maybe. Or if they wanted like a rotating track, like it rotates like when it starts. So like
Oh,
like Mobius, but like it rotates, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know,
God, that'd be a
something
lot to work with.
that'd be
But
cool. But no, that's some planet coaster creation right there. But no, I could see that like Flash and Reverse
dude, the
Flash.
Flash reverse Flash idea. Is it the most realistic thing? No, but it's so fun. I think I gotta work with it.
Yeah, we should do it.
Um,
Flash, Reverse
okay.
Flash. Yeah.
Flat, and then are we
Or Two
saying,
Face, but it wouldn't make sense for a big ride like
yeah,
that.
not
Flash, Reverse
Flash
Flash.
reverse Flash because also like reverse Flash, you'd literally like going backwards. Although even though it's not like Reverse Flash literally runs backwards, but like yeah, people will figure it out. So
And if they wanted
um,
to, maybe not. It's not even Premiere. Maybe it's something like Yoi. Like that'd be so cool.
oh
Like
no, let's
not
not do
backwards,
that.
but
No, let's not do that.
you're like, no, let's not do that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think
But
I
multi-launch is
would.
highly needed. With Freeze gone, we
Yeah.
need a launch. We need a launch. So it makes more sense for the Premiere, Vekoma, or Intamin. But more Premiere, honestly. They work pretty
Okay.
well with Six Flags. They do pretty consistent launch coasters. So yeah. Flash, reverse flash coaster. Yeah.
Vekoma is a good shout out though. I could see them also being in the mix. But
Yeah.
we can roll with Premiere. I like it. So uh
Yeah.
Premiere and we'll do actually Flash reverse flash dueling Premiere launch. No, that's pretty sick. I love that. So
That would be
um
cool. It would add to the Gotham City section for sure. Even though Flash is not technically Gotham, maybe by then it just becomes DC Universe, since we have the whole new kitty area.
that's
So,
true. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
yeah.
Gotham to DC universe overhaul because actually that makes sense because we got rid of well Aquaman's rethemed
Right,
and we got
right,
rid of Justice League,
right.
so that actually works. I
Yeah,
actually
that is true. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
it actually it's all coming together.
It's
We
all
plan
coming
it we
together.
plan it out this way completely.
Yo.
Um, that it is cool though when you see that it's like oh yeah the moves that we made earlier actually like they allow us to do this and they align. So
Right.
no, that actually is perfect. That's a great shout. So
DC
probably these
Universe section.
little rides here are probably going to be like not necessarily Batman characters, which I
And
think
maybe when
works.
they do Shockwave's new edition, Superman gets rethemed as well. So
You
then,
could,
you know,
yeah,
yeah, they could.
that could work. Yeah. Um, no, I like that.
It's like playing
So
chess. We're just like making moves, and then we're like, oh, there it is.
as we go along.
Yeah,
Over Texas fan does say they would like to see an Entenmann LSM family coaster that would like the one that was shown in 2024 at IAPA. Yeah, I could see that being on the table. Um, I think the actually well, there's a few that like people think could be the first one of those. Um,
yeah,
but I assume the one that's going to Beto Carrero World in Brazil, the SpongeBob coaster, it might be that, although this one doesn't have inversions, but
yeah.
um, curious to see where that goes, even if we're not quite incorporating it here. Um, but yeah, no, that great idea.
Great addition.
Um, so we'll do that, and then 2035 is I think again kind of like the 2032 2027
Well, hear me
kind
out
of
with this one.
refresh,
I got a
or
great
unless
idea.
okay, what do you got?
So, Music Mill is still there at this
Yeah,
time.
we just never did anything with it.
Which honestly
Um,
seems like Six Flags. But
yeah.
on the survey, there was one of the options, which is a high-tech new show. So by
Mm.
then, technologies might have advanced. We may have more like better equipment for laser shows and pyrotechnics and stuff like that. Um, so maybe that's the year Music Mill just gets a complete renovation like Southern Palace and actually starts to get used as an entertainment venue. Either that
Okay.
or Majestic Theater by Texas Skyscraper in the Gotham City section slash Good Time Square. Like one of those theaters will probably be renovated by then.
I would lean Majestic Theater because Music Mill, I just think that's a lot to ask because it's a huge
It
space,
is. That's the
which,
thing. It's basically like a whole new attraction,
like,
basically.
and if you don't think that it's gonna be like it's not gonna be just worth justifying it, like in terms of at like yes, you could renovate it and add a new show there. I don't know if that's gonna look super appealing as far as like, yeah, let's do that and spend all this money to do that, and then potentially end up in hopefully not, but like, potentially end up in a similar situation
Yeah.
with where it is right now. So I would lean Majestic Theater if we were to do that. I do love that idea though.
Yeah, because like the
Um,
way it would be feasible is Over Texas actually used to have a closing show. Like at
mm,
the end of the night, they would have fireworks, but that was a while ago. And I have talked with Jeffrey in an interview, and I said, like, how come we don't do fireworks anymore? Like, we should totally do nightly fireworks again. And he explained to me that the sight lines in the park are just not the best. Like
mm,
Fiesta Texas makes sense because the quarry wall is so spaced out that you can see like the fireworks better, but it's hard to pick a spot as to where because the only one that we've been using so far is Old Derrick. But I remember when I was little, they used to always use Music Mill as the place where they would launch
mm.
fireworks and have a nighttime show. So if they really are gonna lock in and be like, yeah, we're always gonna have a night show, that's where it's feasible. But at the same time, if they're not gonna do it, then just do Majestic and just start having venues, all the time. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
That is fascinating though.
yeah,
With
yeah,
the
yeah.
sight lines and I mean that would be cool. I would not be upset at all if they ended if you know like they actually decided to do it as far as like bringing back the fireworks and actually using the venue again. I
Yeah.
just think that from a long term commitment standpoint, it's kind of difficult to see.
It is. It
Um,
is. They
so
would have to be
granted,
really locked in and like, yeah, we're gonna do it, or just don't do it.
granted, at this point, we are already in 2035, so
Yeah.
a lot things are going to be a lot different at this
Who
point. But
knows? Who knows?
um, think what? So lock in Majestic Theater, new high tech show.
Yeah. Majestic Theater, new renovation, high tech show. Yeah. And let's say a new restaurant gets built, something like that. Because maybe the Gotham section needs a new restaurant. I don't know.
That's true. We probably could. Actually, that's a note. That's a pretty decent addition. I also realized we just completely forgot about Johnny Rockets. Um,
Oh yeah. I
uh,
mean,
we
okay,
we can go
let's
we can go
let's chalk it
back.
up to if DC Universe gets rethemed, so does Johnny Rockets. Let's say that. Let's
Yeah.
say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then
Turn into
I'll.
Big Belly Burger.
Okay. Oh my
Yeah.
god. So we'll do that. Um, and we can add some stuff also when we finish it up. And go back on some of this stuff. So then Majestic Theater. Remind me the area that's in.
It's in the Good Time Square section, tentatively
Yeah.
Gotham, right in front of Texas Skyscraper, like right in
Okay.
front of it. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah. And right in front of Judge White Scream as well.
could we do like something like a new restaurant kind of near there or
There's not really enough space there, but
yeah.
but there is space like right by Riddler because they took the stage out that used to be there. So maybe
Mm.
like a little stand. I would say like a little stand gets built, not like a full-on restaurant, but maybe like a walk-up stand or something like that. I don't know.
And I'm right. I have to call it DC Universe because
Yeah.
that's what we did. So,
DC Universe.
um,
We're cooking. I'm actually liking this. Like if this is the legit plan, I would be so happy for my park. Six
and that
Flags, screenshot it and write it down, please.
nah, is that I'm loving it. Um, 2036, and yes, over Texas fan. I have seen your Become a Family Boomerang comment. Wouldn't mind it at all. Just hasn't been something that has quite been on the radar. But if they decided to throw one
Yeah,
in honestly any of the overhauls where it makes sense, I that would be cool. I'd be fine with that.
right.
Actually, we'll just note this. Assuming it got fabricated, it's probably not for over Texas. There is a dueling one that's just kind of floating around because Nashville Zoo never built it. So
Right.
if someone wants to buy that,
Right.
but that's kind of a deep cut at this point, referencing that. So, anyways, back on topic. 2036, 75th anniversary year for Six Flags over Texas.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, this deep into it. Um,
I'm gonna say
I'll
Family Coaster to be honest.
okay.
Yeah,
I like it. I like the idea. Go
because
move forward.
I'm looking at the list because we already have two back-to-back throw rides
Hmm.
with the Vekoma Hyper Tilt and then flash, reverse flash. So I don't know how that would translate for families. We did help them though with France and DC Universe, but now they really do need a coaster by then. Like if we
And the
haven't got
dark ride
one,
as well too. I
and
would
Dark
say
Ride,
also, yeah.
yeah, and by then they really really need a coaster. So I'm thinking, assuming Dive Bomber now has is now his Scream and Swing, uh, you could have, oh,
Ooh,
or this could
hold
be Judge
on.
Roy year. Oh wait,
Oh,
wait,
wait, hold
wait,
on. Okay,
wait,
Over
wait, wait.
Texas Fan brings up a good point. Let me just make sure this is accurate. They bring up that it'll be 200 years since Texas declared independence. Is that accurate as far? Although, I don't know how that would be, because I'm sorry, I don't know my Texas history. um, I apologize there. So, but is that, I mean, okay. Yeah, okay, so 1836. But, like, they were what? They were independent for, like, what, 10 years? I don't know
I
that that's that.
that, but hear me out though. Now that I'm thinking about it, we were talking about Judge Roy all this time. This is the year Judge Roy gets taken out, and it's now a family coaster. I mean, it's always been a family coaster, but
Yeah.
it'll be a new family coaster in the sense of like Texas Stingray, Texan themed coaster, Texas year, 2036 70th anniversary. And what better ride for the 70th anniversary than the one that's in the icon spot that you always see when you're driving in? A new Woody, a new
Okay.
GCI. Yeah, yeah,
And my the only thing I will say there, and technically we kind of broke this, but with the premiere launch, but it's a dueling launch, so I think it's different. I'm kind of actually of the opinion I don't. It's tough. It's tough to word this, but I don't love replacing something with like kind of basically like a very similar to the same like type of ride directly
yeah,
to the thing that was previous. Which I think that's kind of just a weird like sort of take I have
yeah.
with things. So, but I think it could work still.
Unless
Um,
they fully just say we don't want woods and we don't want wooden coasters in the park anymore. Let's just do a family launch and then
which I don't
still
think is
works.
that which I don't think is that crazy. I know like enthusiasts wouldn't be happy with it, and I think even in public, like people, there's a gravitation towards wooden coasters certainly.
Yeah,
That exists. Um, we could still do the wooden coaster. I'm just kind of like yeah. The family launch is something that I would think about here as well.
yeah,
Is what I will bring up. I agree with you as far as the family edition makes complete sense. Let me just go back through my list to see if there's any models I want to bring up here.
right.
Yeah, there's okay, not. It's got to be a significant like family coaster. Like yeah, like say a Vekoma family launch would make sense.
And hear me
Um,
out. If they theme it to Big Ben, like a homage to the original Big Ben on the 70th year, yo, yeah, they're cooking right there. Even if it's because Big Ben can still be a launch family or it could be Woody. It doesn't matter, but just Big Ben themed. Just Big Ben themed.
okay. We can work with that. Yeah, I mean those are I think those are the two logical things. I'm looking through everything else I have. There's not really much else that makes sense. So I think either of those works. I'll defer to you. If you think the wooden coaster is better, we can definitely throw that in. I think
Hmm.
with the although you mentioned Big Ben, but like the Texas vibe, I think it would fit pretty well. So like probably more so than like say a family launch. But I think either are good additions, but I'll default to you as
Unless
far
they wanted
as
something like Zambezi Zinger and it has that little, like the lift that's like the
no,
circle
no, no, don't do that. Nuh-uh.
wide. It's not good.
Dude, the problems that has had
Maybe by 2030 something it's good.
man. Um well actually
That sucks.
maybe
It
it's
looks
sorted out.
cool.
Maybe it's sorted out because they I know they were having issues with the lift. I don't know entirely what it was related to. I know some of it was related to precipitation where it could not run if it was raining like at all. So
Mm,
they built a tunnel that like basically goes around the entire lift, which my issue with that is I feel like that kind of takes away
Oh yeah,
like
it
some of
does.
it. So
They
I
built
just
the
am
tunnel. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
dude, no, look it up. It's wild. No, and Coast Trevin agrees. Um I think that's had there's been I think too many issues. A cool idea and like it looks cool, and maybe yeah, long ways from now. But I don't even know that anyone else is gonna even try that after how Zambezi went.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense. See, I didn't know that. So, but in that case, if we want to make it stand out to be different than Judge Roy, then maybe even add the opportunity of like a switchback, like or not sorry, that's switch, like switchback, like
mhm.
goes backwards kind of thing at some point. I don't know, something like that. Maybe by then there's like a model where it's still full circuit, but it has like a track that moves over. I don't know, something crazy like that.
That would be wild on a wooden coaster.
Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
Who knows? Maybe by then.
yeah.
But if not
But
something more intense and family oriented like Texas Stingray, like that'd be a really cool addition, I think.
what is the height requirement for Texas Stingray? I want to like look at that real quick. Is it
It's
the
either 42 or
48 or is it
48.
42? Because
It's one or the other.
I would theoretically also want it to have that 42-inch.
I would too, because that's the whole reason why we need a family that's
Oh, Texas
42.
Stingray is weird. It's a 46-inch. So that
Interesting.
is
I mean,
really
that's not
odd.
terrible.
That's no, it's okay. And then actually I want to look at for reference Big Bear Mountain is
Oh, I think, yeah.
I will kind of want to look at because that I think also should matter. Oh yeah, Big Bear is 39 inches. So
Oh,
that's
wow. Dang, I didn't know that either. Hmm.
because I like yeah, that was my other thing. And then like what okay, Family GCI, like what? Like Invader's like the one I can
Uh,
think of.
like
What's the
the
hype for that?
wacky worm, Oscar's
Oh,
wacky
Wacky
taxi.
Taxi, that's a gravity
Yeah.
group. But we could do a
Oh wait,
gravity
my
group.
bad.
We
We
could.
could do, yeah, we could. We could.
Bobcat exists.
Bobcat, yeah.
So let's do Oscars. What's the height requirement there? I looked, and it immediately gives me the height of the coaster. That's not what I want. 40 inches. Okay,
Okay.
the gravity group.
Okay. So
Gravity group is
maybe it's not GCI,
probably
maybe it's Gravity Group.
if we want to look for something that's like more accessible. You
Yeah.
have that. Um,
And
although it's
it'd be
gravity
the
group.
only Gravity Group in Texas since yeah.
Hey, you never know. What maybe Wonderland can
Maybe
pick up
Coda.
Switchback
Coda just
real
says
quick.
Coda's gonna
Not
get
even
like
kidding.
some but by 2030 something Coda's gonna get the split Rex.
Well, I mean, you would still not have the gravity group issue. So,
No, what I
not
mean is like Coda's gonna be like some big universal park by then. So they probably have every coaster by then. Yeah.
that'd be wild.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, well, the only thing is like the gravity group doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It's just kind of a cool like kind of footnote as far as like it being the only one.
Yeah.
Um,
I
but
could see Gravity Group.
the only thing is their rides are like, and we could do something custom and work it out, but their like family coasters are like so tiny. I'm like,
Hmm.
this would be a much more like scaled up in terms of length, but I think it could work. Um,
Or
so
GCI and they managed to lower the height limit somehow. Like I don't
that's
know.
true. I would probably the problem is they'd probably have to do something with the trains, which to be fair, it is our plan, so we can just like we'll
Yeah,
pay
they're
for
like,
them
yeah,
to
they'll do
figure
it.
it out. But since Gravity Group already does it, like they already have it sorted out, and we would just need them to kind of scale up the coaster, I feel like that'd be easier to do.
Right.
So,
Let's say Gravity
um,
Group or Woody.
so also some of the Gravity Group trains, it's as far as the lead cars, they have some pretty cool ones. So not GCI also has some as well. Actually, Texas Stingray, I like how that
Texas
looks,
Stingray is pretty tough. Yeah.
but like Oscar's Wacky Taxi,
Yeah.
I like that one. Kentucky Flyer has the plane on it there, so
And
there's
Bobcat
some
has the Bobcat on it.
yeah, but there's some cool aesthetic stuff you could go either way on those. So, um, I'm leaning towards Gravity Group, and we'll just kind of
Yeah.
scale it up.
Let's do that. I'm down. Gravity Group is scaled up and taking
Um,
Judge Ray's cream spot.
yeah. Um, let's see. So yeah. So family gravity group. Oh, and then I assume Judge Roy Scream would close in 2035.
Yeah.
Um, I will get some of this sorted out real quick to make sure we have it a little more easy to understand. So, Judge Roy Scream closes. Wow, I'm not gonna lie, this lasted a little longer than I expected as far as the 10-year plan goes.
It's 10 years. What happens?
That's true. Thank God we did it. 10 years. Yeah, we're not going beyond 10 years. That's for sure. Now testing this for the first time.
Yeah.
But I think this is good. So let's put it up on the screen what we have so far. So
Everybody look.
2027.
Screenshot it now. This is your time to claim your OG ticket right now.
We got our new Texas Giant updates, repaint, theming enhancements, 2028 France overhaul. We're vulturing the Wind Stars and the Flying Scooters from Great America, plus adding a Ferris wheel. 2029, we got that Boomtown overhaul slash expansion. We're kind of expanding the area it has, so Pandemonium and Aquaman will fit in with it. We'll update the existing attractions that are currently in the area as is, and then also add a new dark ride that's going to replace Justice League. 2030 will be the last year for Shockwave go-karts and the Dive Bomber. We're going to add an S&S Scream and Swing, which will replace Dive Bomber. 2031, become a hyper tilt in the former Shockwave plot. And then 2032, you got a Hurricane Harbor edition, along with a Runaway Mountain retheme and Johnson Creek updates. 2033 is part one of the Gotham to DC Universe overhaul. Mr. Freeze closes, new Nebulas, new monorail, new Happy Swing, where Harley Quinn used to be, plus Johnny Rocket's retheme. 2034 Flash Reverse Flash doing premiere launch. 2035 Majestic Theater renovation and new high-tech show. New food stand in DC Universe. Judge Roy Scream closes. And then 2036, we got a family gravity group that's going to replace Judge Roy Scream for the 75th anniversary of Six Flags Over Texas. Wow, that was a lot.
We did it.
To do. So to go over. But is there any last things you would like to potentially update or like add? Unfortunately, we just couldn't quite get to Music Mill Theater, Amphitheater. So maybe in the next 10 years.
Maybe that's just like how it's. I mean, maybe that's why Six Flags forgot it. They just like be pushing it. Like, yeah, we'll get to
Dude,
it.
some of these parks do have like things that like have been abandoned for so long though that it's not that far fetched that it might actually go untouched. So
Right.
and technically it still is like, don't they like use it like very very occasionally for like events
Very,
and
very
stuff?
occasionally. But now it's like they can't even use that at all because it's just out of. It's not
Oh
in code or
jeez.
whatever. So yeah, yeah.
Well, I guess it's
Somebody
gonna
said,
be
and
the
the
new
Cowboys still won't have won the Super Bowl.
that is probably accurate. I will agree there. My team
Oh
probably
my
won't have either
gosh.
to make things fair. So I gotta send this to new CEO. Send this over
Yeah.
to John Riley real quick.
Yep.
Um,
Take notes, please.
I like this a lot. I
I
think
like
we
it.
did
I really like
a
it.
really good job.
We rounded out the
Um,
park. We enhanced a lot of areas. We made the guests happy. Hopefully, the enthusiasts will not come after us and spam freeze gifts all over.
yeah, dude, if we went with the tower coaster as a replacement,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no,
I
that'd be
will
the
s-
most controversial thing.
I will say if it happens, you heard it here first.
You heard it here first, though. I can't lie. That I'll be like, hey,
But
I claimed
I
that was not my
might
prediction. That
die.
was all this guy.
I might there it may things may not end well for me if it comes true. So I will say to make things fair, Magic Mountain's my home park. Granted, still 2.5 hours. Well, if I'm lucky, really more like 3+ hours away from me. Um, I've said that if somehow they could get it to work, I would actually be down for a mock tower coaster to replace Superman Escape from Krypton.
See, there it makes
Logistically,
sense. It makes sense there. It makes
yeah,
sense at Magic Mountain. It wouldn't make sense here, but there, Like, yeah, I could
Like,
see
because
that.
what else are you gonna replace it with?
And then add drop towers
Logistically,
to the side of
gosh.
it.
Oh yeah, something like that. Dude, Lex Luthor is so good, but like
Lex Luthor
it's
is so
hardly ever
goaded.
open. It's hard or it's maybe I shouldn't say hardly. It's just down a lot. So,
I miss it, bro. It's such a good ride. I loved it.
yeah, no, it's I think my well, I guess third favorite drop tower I've done, but the other two are the Disney ones, so hard to compete with those. Um but anyways, that is the plan.
The
Again, we'll
Big Ten
put it on the screen here. Appreciate those of you who have either
stuck it
tuned in
through.
recently or stuck through. And then those of you who watch it after we are live here, I will have the timestamps once this is finished. So that'll wrap it up for the 10-year plan. I really like it. And
That's what he said. I'm gonna send it all around the globe.
that, yeah, I will post this on the on Instagram and
Yeah. And then come
I
back in 10 years and be like, yo, they got it right. What the heck?
hey, if we even got a few of these things right, dude, if I will be over the moon if like one of the two Great America rides that I projected to send over to them actually gets sent. I'm like,
Yeah.
I will be
See, and I
victory
didn't even think
lapping.
about that when I made my original plan because I forgot about that. I forgot that was a possibility, but it is now. So
Watch them
yeah.
magically extend its life, and I'm like, well, I would actually like that if they
Yeah, that'd
did,
be good for
but
them.
I would like that for sure. With Great America is actually technically closer to Magic Mountain than to me. I'm like in between both, but I go to Magic Mountain more, so hence I consider
Right.
it my home park.
Right.
It's like within a 30-mile difference though, so not that much
Right.
when we're talking like multi-hour drive. But if that happens, then well, I guess you can throw that out the window. But I do think those. I think those will find new homes regardless. But if one of them finds a new home at Over Texas, just saying. Um,
Unless
but
Good Adventure steals it even more.
dude, I mean, they do need new. Some of the rides they took from America. I'm not gonna lie. And actually, I'll start final Q and buy or sell. So get your last questions and buy or sells in. Um, are you cool with taking anything that comes in until what is it? No, 10:30 EST, which would be 9:30 your time. Is that good for you?
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Let me see how much percentage my phone has. Yeah, it should last, hopefully.
All right. So if for some reason we have a warning, then we'll or like it's getting like low, then abbreviate it. But yeah, any final questions? Any buy or sells?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. We were talking about uh oh no.
Oh, we're talking about
Um
Great Adventure taking all the attractions
oh
and
dude,
everything.
oh right. Raging Cajun. It's not even about like because people have brought up, oh well, they have another wild mouse that's indoors. I actually don't care about that. That's fine, honestly, that they have them both. Like majority of people, no one's gonna think they're that similar ride experiences. But
Yeah. And one
okay,
spins too.
yeah, exactly. But second relocation was not in good shape at Six Flags America. I'm a little puzzled with it. I'm just like I'm curious how long this is gonna actually operate here, if I'm
I
gonna
don't
be
know.
honest.
I don't know. I
But
like the new boardwalk section though.
oh,
That's really
I
cool.
agree. I like
Like
overall I agree. I like it, but I just thought
I
that
had
that
a
was like such a
feeling like
baffling decision.
I was like, if
I
they're
knew it
gonna
was
take
gonna
all these
happen, but
rides
like
out, I was like, they have to do something, cool. And they did. So I was like, okay, I rock with that. And then the vibes, like if they really hone in on the vibes, oh, that'd be so cool for Good Adventure. But yeah, yeah. But it's still weird though. Like all the rides from America, just they're all like, yeah, let's get them all. Let's all go to Good Adventure.
there's still some that they could find some new homes. I hope the uh Pendulum, the Zamperla Discovery, and the well, actually the Sky Screamer might be a lot more difficult to figure that out. But there's other rides there that I'd love to see get new homes. Probably mostly not talking about the coasters there though. I think the Kitty Coaster is probably the only other one that will get saved, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Um, but let's see. I do want to say though, just to because I was kind of trashing Great Adventure for like a second. I actually do. I do like that area as a whole. And I mean adding more capacity with these rides. I think most of them make sense. Like I said, Raging Cajun. I'm just like my question with it is how long is this gonna operate? Maybe
Yeah.
they'll refurb it and it's great, and
I mean, how's Sidewinder
that's
Safari doing at what's the
well,
name?
it's
Discovery
brand
Kingdom.
new. Well, not brand new, but it opened in 22, I think. I should know this because I wrote it within a week of its
And that's
opening
not a
date.
hand-me-down? Or I thought it
No, it's
was.
not. It
Oh,
was built brand
new.
new.
Oh, okay,
Raging
okay.
Cajun was originally a Great America, got
Yeah, I remember
relocated
that.
to America, and then now is being relocated to Great Adventure, and it already
Ooh.
was not like the way it
Three
was
relocations is
running.
not a good sign.
The way it was running towards the end of its days in America was not very good. So
Mm. I
I
mean,
hope
maybe they got like new pieces entirely. Like maybe, I mean, not entirely, but maybe they asked like the manufacturer to give some new parts here and there, so it's not like relocated and that's it. Maybe, maybe.
I hope it's in good shape. We'll find out pretty soon. But I my question more with it is like how long is it gonna operate? But overall, I think if they, as you said, do well for the area in terms of getting the vibes right, I think that's great. And I'm very intrigued in Project Purple. That stall
Yo, I was gonna
is
say, can
gonna
we
be
talk about
insane.
Project Purple? Cause like, yo, like that ride, how could you hate on it? Like, okay, this is the controversial take. And
Meanwhile, you were like, no, you can't add it to Over Texas.
okay, not
But
to over Texas, but only because
no. Hold on. I like. Is it like? Is it just because it's your home park you don't want it?
no. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's only because in over Texas, I know the fan base, and I know. I mean, we have Tormenta, so
That's true.
we don't need like big ride. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're good. And then Freeze being taken out for that, I would like it if it's full circuit, but if it's like back and forth, no. But in the case of Good Adventure, it doesn't look that bad only because I mean at least it's still around the same it's gonna be like 400 feet, right?
It's gonna
Like
be the height waiver came out. It's the 375 is what it's gonna end up being. I don't think that matters. There are people
okay.
who are freaking out about that. I personally don't think that matters much in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
But
I mean
people
it's
are not
almost
gonna be.
400.
People are. I know. Like once it officially gets announced, like
Like a strata.
you're gonna hear a lot of people unhappy about it.
Yeah, but
Um,
like if I'm thinking I mean like it's not that it's a bad ride. Like okay, in over Texas also how would it fit too? Like that thing is long. That's
that's
like
true. Well,
that's a
you would get the
long.
like the smaller one, like the 200 footer that they were
See,
putting
and
into
that's why I wouldn't
service.
like it. Because if we're gonna get it, then I would want the 375. But it's a hybrid one, like nah, I'm good. But for a great adventure, 375, you're on a spinning coaster. There's launches, like the launch is
Yeah,
upside down launch. Yo, like I could not hate on that. Like, and then I remember it's. I mean, it's crazy to see the controversy. Like, okay, this was just hidden with the controversy. Like my controversy is that King the Ka, like, yes, I think what happened was the hate didn't come from losing King the Ka. It came from how they did
it
it.
was handled. I 100%
So,
agree.
because I really don't think Kindercon was all that. Because I remember when it was still operating, it did get hate. Because I remember people were saying, "Oh, Kindercon sucks because it's so short. Like you just ride it and it's done. And only like it's a one trick pony kind of thing." And I was over here in Texas, like, "Yo, I want to go check it out," because I've never even ridden a Strata. Like it looks sick. And then all of a sudden, when it got destroyed, all the hate was like, "We want Kingdom Come, we want Kingdom Come." I was like, "Where was everybody sooner?" Because everybody was talking bad about it. And so my controversial take is like it needed to happen, but it needed to be handled differently. Because with any coaster, you need to tell people that it's closing like with time so people can visit. Plus, it would have been a great marketing move because they would have had tons of people traveling from all over to ride King Ka. And then if it really was a technical issue, which I heard that was probably what it was, like it was just really expensive to run, then they could have just been honest and be like, yo, listen, we wanted to have a final day, but the ride is just really expensive to run and it's breaking down. Like we have 1 week to give you guys, that's it. And then everyone would still not be upset about it, I think.
My
So,
my only issue with that part is I wholeheartedly agree with like the sentiment like you could do that. My problem is that enthusiasts wouldn't think that's weird, but I think kind of general public, if you like are like, oh yeah, by the way, this ride's like gonna be like probably bringing down here and
oh yeah, you're
there.
right. The GP would have freaked out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they
that's
could have worded it
the
sooner though. They could have been like, it's gonna be out of service in a week. And then enthusiasts know why, but to the GP they just keep saying it's out of service for a week or something. Like, something like that. I don't know.
yeah. I do wish I my understanding is like it was difficult just because it's like they didn't want to like I guess guarantee it just because like you don't you like expensive to run and then it's like well if it has like a significant issue like it's just not gonna they're not gonna reopen it so
Right.
even though it did end up making it to the what ended up being like the final date that was speculated for like weeks and weeks but I agree I do wish that was handled better I think that just
It would
overall
have helped the pushback a little bit.
yeah.
Like, but with that said, like at least they replaced it right away. I would be understandably upset if they took it away and then it was just sitting empty for like 5 years. But they were like, nah, we got you a 375-foot spinner multi-launch. Like,
Well,
yo, that's
they
sick.
did push it back a year, which it's fine, but
Yeah.
I think that didn't help along with everything else.
And then better yet, they said we'll add that and we'll give you the boardwalk section, which is even cooler because like, yo, you got two in one. You got a boardwalk section and with tons of new rides and a huge coaster. So it'll look complete. Like, so it's not terrible, but you know, yeah.
I think it's a ride that like there will be haters, but I think once it opens, it'll be something that like a lot of people are like, no, this is actually like really, really excellent and like crazy. So,
Hmm.
kind of, I think kind
Yeah.
of like Top Thrill 2 that got hate during its opening and
Oh, I
people rave
remember.
about that now.
Right.
And granted, I haven't ridden it.
It looks so
I
good. I want to go
love
on it
the
so
OG
bad.
Top Thrill Dragster, and this was
Yeah.
before it closed. It was my number 2 coaster in the park. You can look at my countdown. It flexed between 3 and 2, but in the more recent one, and I think Dragster was still around when it was. I did that countdown. It was my number 2 coaster at Cedar Point.
Right.
So I just think that launch is absurd. So I also think I would have loved King Dakar, but I understand in both cases like why they ended up
Yeah.
having to go.
I,
So
I get why everybody got upset though. I'm not saying that I don't get it. I get it because if Freeze were to just to close and no one told me, yeah, that would leave a bad taste in all of our
yeah,
mouths. Uh, but then again, if they said Freeze was closing and we're giving you another hyper ride, well, okay, actually, I didn't think about that. If we do get a tower and we do get a hyper, it makes sense because we lost a hyper. So actually, I'm not upset with that addition, to be honest. But yeah, if we get something equal or better, I won't complain. You know what I'm saying? But if it was like we lost Freeze and we're adding a kiddie coaster, I would have been upset. But at least they're trying to match the energy of Kina Ka in some
hmm
capacity. So they're thinking of the fans when they removed it. So, you know, yeah.
yeah. No, I think it is something that I think has gotten too much hate. It'll continue probably to get a lot of hate as we move forward, at least for a little bit. But ultimately, once it opens, um, and also if it has good uptime, I think that'll help as well because Ka, um, I know it had some issues there, so
And is it
um,
confirmed that it's like one train, or is it gonna be like a free situation where it's like a switch track
I think they're
or
gonna have the a switch track. Yeah,
okay.
it's gonna have a switch track. I think it's
See,
like
and that's not terrible either, because at least it'll have good capacity. So, you know, somewhat good capacity.
yeah.
Yeah.
So um, And as I said, I mean, granted, Superman, I wasn't even really the biggest fan of at Magic Mountain. Even when I closed, I'm like, okay, like I might,
What? That one actually hurt me. That one was so sad.
okay, okay, fair enough. Did you write it or no?
Yeah, I did. I wrote it
Okay,
like 3 times. Yeah, yeah. Dude, it was so crazy. Like it wasn't that extreme. Like I don't know how to say it. Like it was extreme, but it wasn't like crazy. But it was still cool. Like I was like, yo, this ride's insane. Uh, and it's such an icon of Magic Mountain that I couldn't imagine not being there anymore. But if you get a spinner that's about the same height as it, then we're talking, then we're talking.
I think it's gonna be a long time if and when, just because logistically removing that thing
It's a
it's
lot
gonna
of
be.
space, it's a lot of work. It's on the terrain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that isn't touched for a long, long time. And well, technically, it have Lex Luthor, so like there's that at least. So
Yeah,
like
and the
you can,
longer that we still have Lex Luthor, the better. Because I love Lex Luthor. I love that ride so much. It's funny because I was sad about Keenan Khan leaving, but then when I when I heard Zoom and Jarl was leaving too, which I knew was gonna leave too, but that was more sad for me as well because I really wanted to ride that one so badly because I thought it was so cool to have a drop tower attached to a roller coaster. Like I loved it on Superman, and I bet on Ka would have been even cooler.
yeah,
But it is what it is.
that it is tough. Zoom and Jar also. I mean, yeah, that's another one I would have loved to ride. Um, but unfortunately, not to be.
Not.
I've neglected the chats up to this point. Over Texas fan, you feel like the stuff from Great America is definitely going to get taken up by Discovery Kingdom.
I don't know. I don't know about that one.
I think I can reference the president list at this point and what was and wasn't on it. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You that would make, I mean, it would make logical sense.
If the
Heck, they
announcement that didn't happen, like
well,
you
even
know,
even still, like it could happen. I know they tried Winterfest over at Discovery Kingdom, which was a Great America event, so they're definitely like wanting to bring people over. And well, I'm not necessarily saying that like getting their old rides would, but like it makes sense that like they could add it there. I think they're gonna go elsewhere, but logically, just because it's close by, could make sense. So
yeah.
um,
I feel like Hurricane Harbor will get way more investment due to multiple new water parks
that's a good
or
point.
for some reason opening up in Dallas Fort Worth for some reason. Well, yeah, like that's a given. I mean, with Black Hole gone, something has to fill the black hole because it's just sitting there abandoned. Like something has to replace it soon. Um, but I don't think it'll be like over Texas getting rides every 2 or 3 years or every year. Like water parks work a little bit differently, so it'll be more like once every 5 years, something like that. Um, unless the Hurricane Harbor numbers seem to come in like crazy and then they start adding stuff. But even then, Hurricane Harbor doesn't have that much space like to be adding crazy stuff So yeah, that's my piece.
That's a fair point. I think this was more in reference to, well, the plan that we only had 1 year of Hurricane Harbor Edition. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really. I kind of more. Yes, we added it for 2032.
Yeah, we were
I'm
just talking
not
about like
really
over
thinking of like
Texas.
it's just like, maybe somewhere in there they give him something or two. If I
Yeah.
had more, I mean, granted, I did have a decent bit of time. That just wasn't something I thought about researching until kind of late, and I'm like, I really don't want to like do all that like in like
Well, I
last
think for
second. So
sure. Yeah, I mean, because it would add more complications. Because we're specifically talking about
also
over
it's
Texas.
hard to research because like I tried looking for like the years of like the slides and stuff too,
Yeah.
like when the additions were, and it wasn't very easy to find. So I'm like I'm just gonna give up
Yeah.
on this.
With Splash Island last year, I think we will be due for a new water slide either next year or 2028 because I mean, the water coaster was on the survey as well, and
Yep.
that felt very Hurricane Harbor oriented. Because how would Over Texas get a water coaster?
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense.
Exactly.
So it's definitely Hurricane Harbor oriented, and it'd be a cheaper addition as a Tormenta, um, especially on the hype of Splash Island and everything.
Water
So,
coasters can be pretty expensive, I will say. Not
hmm
obviously like. but
What I'm
that.
thinking more is I'm thinking slide tower. That's what I'm thinking more like to replace black hole specifically. A
Mm-hmm.
water coaster does seem good, but at the same time, not really because downtime and mechanical stuff and all those things.
Do
I
water coasters?
mean,
I don't necessarily. There's some water coasters that have downtime. I don't know that. I don't think that's necessarily an issue for uh throughout. I mean, maybe.
really, because like when
Um.
I've been to Fiesta a couple of times, and sometimes Thunder Rapids would be closed due to technical issues.
Mm,
So that's why
interesting.
I'm thinking
Okay.
like it may or may not. And Hurricane Harbor has downtime on slides sometimes. So it's
Oof.
like,
Okay.
do we risk that? Why not do a safer choice like a slide tower and make it be the biggest slide tower in Texas, something like that. Like, something like that. That'd be cool.
I
Like,
think I have a bad barometer for what I think is like water coasters because the only ones I've experienced are the two Holiday World or the three Holiday World ones, and I don't recall those having downtime. But I'm like, you
oh,
know
well,
what?
that's because
That's
that's Holiday
probably
World. They love their
not the
water
norm.
park.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like, you know
But
what? Yeah, you're and as you said, that park already deals with it. Fiesta Texas has
yeah,
issues with their water coaster. You're probably
yeah,
onto something there. So,
right. I mean, when we used to have they even took it away. We used to have that one where the floor drops, uh, in the
oh,
back.
okay, the
That
trap
one was
doors.
always like down because of the trap door. I don't know why, but it always was. So they ended up taking it completely, and it just became a normal slide.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's so weird. Like that that is so weird that wow.
Yeah. But I
Um
mean, that was back with different management, so maybe now it's better. But still, like, I don't know why they did that because, like, it was a cool ride. And then now it's just a basic slide down it thing. And then also, we used to have one called Bonsai Boggin, and it was a very unique water slide where you would sit like on a plastic board basically, and the floor would drop, and you would slide down and you would skid across the water like when you're skipping a stone. And it was such a historic ride, but they took it out because they just didn't want to fix it no more. So
what was it
it
called?
Bonsai Boggin, but now it's
Be-
Bonsai Pipeline.
because oh, okay. You as a let's see, bonsai boggin, but are you on something or are you just like sliding down like just like
You're on
sitting
like a
down?
yellow board or something like that,
Okay.
and then the floor drops and you're like holding onto the board, and then it skips across the water like a stone that's skipping. Like you're skidding across the water, and then your goal is to stay on it till the very very end of the water of the pool,
Oh
and then you get
wow.
off. Yeah, it was a really cool slide. I liked it, but it was just unfortunate that it closed down because it had so many mechanics of the thing tilting. Like it was weird. Like you would sit on it, and then it would hold you in, and then the thing would tilt down, and then the little thing would slide, and you would go down it. Like it's really weird. But
Be my water park has something that's similar that might be what you're saying. I'll probably send it over to you later to see if it is the same thing because I'm not finding it when I'm looking it up here. But if it's what I think the thing you're describing sounds extremely similar to like something that the local water park that I worked at has.
yeah,
Um,
have
which
you tried Bonsai Bog in Hurricane Harbor, Arlington, or no?
I tried. I did not. Oh wait, maybe let's see. Bonsai Bog in Hurricane Harbor.
Either put
Arlington.
Arlington too.
Yeah, let's see. Because like because only pipeline is coming up.
Yeah, and that's probably why because they ended up naming it Bonsai Pipeline to
Yeah,
kind of
so
make you
it's
forget about Bonsai Boggin.
unless like what was the way it was spelled? Like Boggin.
Bonsai let
Yeah,
me search it up too. Banzi, and then I think it was Boggan.
I typed it up and
Uh,
I ain't finding it. So
Hurricane Harbor, Arlington,
because I'm like I didn't even know I'm surprised that
Texas.
Hurricane Harbor would
Old
actually have a
ride.
slide like that. I'm not gonna
We
lie.
we had we used to have so many classics.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, I'm happy that we still have ours, but I haven't hardly seen any other ones anywhere else. I feel like it's kind of a like dying thing. So, but I can't find it
Dang.
on
Oh,
here.
oh, I found it. I found it. I found a picture of it. There's like one picture of it. There's a
Okay.
video by In the Loop. and it's Six Flags Hurricane Harbor tour from 2016.
Okay.
And his thumbnail has the picture. Like, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but uh, it's right
Oh
there.
boy. Interesting.
Yeah,
It does look like it from that from what I could see. So
yeah.
chat is probably like, what is going on? um oh yeah, no, yeah, it is literally, it is that. Wow. I'm surprised you guys had that. Wow, that's really
Yeah, we
cool.
did. We had so many classic ones, but little by little they got taken out. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, no, that is cool. Um that you had it at some point. Let's see what else here as far as chat. I think we mostly got through it. I know we are a smidge over what I mentioned. Um, Going upside down, spinning, and launch going super fast is going to be a crazy sensation for the tower coaster. Yeah, definitely agree there. Um, Last thing, apparently that will be 2 years after the Duke Kalahari that's opening up in Allen, if it goes through. Oh, as far as like the water parks that are being built in the area.
Yeah.
Okay, so some extra stuff there. I think
Mhm.
we have reached everything else though.
We
So
did it.
yeah. Um, Happy to have you on to do this. This was the first time we've done it as far as a 10-year park plan like stream. First one I have done. I'm definitely, for those who watch afterwards or are still here, if you could let me know in chat or in the comments how much you just enjoyed the concept of this, as well as like just the stream in general. But like if you would want to see like more 10-year plans with other content creators, definitely let me know. This was very much like experimental, doing it for the first time.
Yeah. It was fun though.
So
I
um,
liked it.
yeah, but I enjoyed it as well quite a bit. As I said, went a little longer than I expected, but I think there's ways I can kind of shorten it. I think probably the beginning
Yeah.
explanation I can definitely just like probably go straight to the plan and then like go to the other stuff if I need to. So that probably would be a good way to go. Um, but yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this stream. Uh, JV, any last thoughts you have before we head out?
Thank you for having me on. Man, it was a blast talking theories and predictions. That's my specialty right there. And chat, thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, go subscribe to my boy Coaster Hour. He got some amazing streams. He brings crazy amount of guests on here. And send all of the love this way. Come on now.
I very much appreciate it. And for anyone who isn't following JB Thrills yet, I have all his links in the description. So definitely make sure to subscribe and follow him on all the platforms. And that will pretty much wrap it up. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time here on Coaster Hour. See you all.